There we go. Welcome to the Foul Play YouTube channel. Greetings, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well today. And today is open mic number 126, hard to believe. And today tonight, this afternoon, this morning, where you may be located in the world, we're going to continue on listening to some of these dispatch calls and so forth that we began yesterday. It was a really interesting conversation. I think we took away some little giblets of information that we had missed before. I've actually gotten many DMs from various people that heard this and that, and we're going to do a little housekeeping before we start. Andy B did a little bit of work with his magical wizardry sound stuff, and I've got just a really short clip of something that he enhanced, and I'll play that here in a few minutes. But first, let's welcome everyone here. Let's join. We've got several members that have got prior engagements. I know Doc has got some stuff going on that he has to deal with. I think Cherie's got some stuff. So anyway, it's myself, Alice, and Jerome. So Alice, how are you?
Jack, Jerome, nice to be on the panel with you both. Hi everyone in chat. Yes, doing okay, Jack. Still got the butterflies and the giddy feeling from finding out I'm going to be a granny, so looking forward to that and getting excited.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, it's congratulations. I've got 3 grandchildren myself, and you have the privilege now of just pulling the shit out of them and sending them home. You don't have to deal with it.
Yep, exactly, Jack. That's the plan. I'll fill them up with sugar and everything like that, and then send them on home.
Yeah, but Granny said she would buy this for me. Why can't you get it, Dad?
Yeah. But anyway. Granny said so. Well, I'm not your bloody granny.
That's right. Get your ass in bed. That's right. And Jerome, thank you for coming back. How are you, sir?
I'm pretty fine, sir. I'm pretty fine. Hello, Jax. Hello, Alice. Congratulations, Alice. Hello, everybody in the chat. I hope everybody's well. And I'm really glad to be here tonight with you to continue to debate and dispute the case.
Absolutely. Well, we got some interesting calls lined up. I will tell you that. Some really interesting calls. But first, I have to thank Andy B for taking the time. I know he's busy with, he's got his own, stuff to deal with. I'm going to play a little clip. I'm not going to pop it up on screen. It's only, I think it's like 7 seconds. It's not very long, but this is from one of the calls last night. It's like a 7-second little passage. Hopefully you'll be able to hear it. I think you should. If you can't, please let me know. I've got my earphones completely on. And it's going to be as loud as I can make it. So hopefully it's going to come through. And then later, what I'll do, for those that, may not be able to hear it, but it's not real loud. It's not quiet, but I will put this up on OneDrive and I'll put a link in the video description. So anyone that wants it. So give me just 1 second. I'll play this. And I think this originates from a call, probably, I think it's one of the last few that we played. I don't know. I can't tell you exactly which call it was from, but it's from, I think, one of the last 3 or 4 that we played last night. So anyway, I'm going to play it now. So you guys let me know if you can't hear it. All right, here we go.
Department. Just 1 minute. Indicates that she went to Avery first. We have like pregnant.
I'll play it again.
Department. Just 1 minute. Indicates that she went to Avery first. We have like pregnant.
You hear that? Went to Avery's first and then went to Zippers.
Yes, that's what I heard. Yes, she was on Avery first and Zipper after the birthday.
You're right. So this is one of the calls that was from the third or possibly the fourth. I don't know. It's one of the two. I'll try to get with Andy B and isolate exactly which call this came from. So that way everyone knows and they can do their own research.
It was from the last one that we played last night, Jack, but it was right at the very beginning, he said.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know which call that is. And also
Yeah.
JD, JD had messaged me. We talked DM back and forth some last night and a little bit today. I've been pretty busy today, so I really hadn't had much time to chatter on DMs, but he wants me to replay a call, and I'm not exactly sure which call that is that JD is wanting me to replay.
I have received the same message with a call, but I don't know what call it is, but we can hear in the background concerning Bobby Dassey.
Yeah. So she said no girlfriend,
she has no friend
or boyfriend,
no girlfriend or boyfriend.
Yes, that's exactly right.
But but I don't know the context about that.
I think it's one of the longer calls that we played, but I'm not positive. I'm going to have to try to isolate that one as well. I mean, these aren't going anywhere, so we can definitely do that. Hey, Neverly, look at there. There's Lady Neverly. Woo-hoo.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Are we live?
We are live.
Okay. Hello.
How are you doing?
Hey, doing well. You're not going to believe this. I actually screenshot it so I could send it to you, Jack. But today, this morning, was 38 degrees in the lovely southern sunny California.
What?
38.
I don't believe you.
That's 3 Celsius. I have a picture. I'll show it to you.
What did you have, like a fire and, like 4 or 5 coats on and,
But the house is,
that's cold as shit. That's cold as hell.
It's really, in 33 years that I lived here, I don't think this is the coldest. This is absolutely the coldest I've ever seen.
Well, welcome to my analysis world, and probably Jerome too. I mean, I can't tell you.
Oh yeah, in Belgium it's really, really cold. It was 3 degrees under zero, but in Celsius,
that's pretty close to. That's pretty close. That's pretty close to what 38 degrees Fahrenheit. That would be pretty close to like 3 or 4 degrees Celsius, I think.
I don't know, because I don't know the difference between Fahrenheit and Celsius. I don't know how to do the calcul.
Well, zero Celsius is 32 Fahrenheit.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm the same, Jerome. I don't know the degrees for or the Celsius for the Fahrenheit. I just say it's bloody cold.
There you go. There you go.
According to Alice, the temperature outside right now is bloody cold.
Oh yeah, it's bloody cold.
No, Neverly, you weren't here yesterday when I shared my news. I've just found out I'm going to be a granny.
Oh my God! Congratulations, sweetie pie.
Thank you.
Oh, congratulations. I can't wait.
That's awesome news. It's so glad.
Yeah, congratulations. Yeah.
Congratulations again.
Little part of our eternity, the bloodline continues, right?
Yeah, and I saw somebody said congratulations to Granny, but I didn't connect the dots. Somebody in chat said that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
Right. We know what they've been doing.
Yes. So it's a baby, September baby. The baby will be born in September. So
perfect.
And they get their first scan on the 17th of March.
Something about pumping up a tire is all I know. That's all I heard. That's all I'll say. It's all I got, Neverly. That's as far as I can go. Anyway.
Yeah.
Alice, if you would kindly welcome and greet everyone that's in the live chat, we can get rolling.
Yep, no problem. We have Andy B, We have Mystic Jinx. We have Colette. We have Pete Moss. We've got Case 10. We've got Nan's Life. We've got Dark Side of the Moon. Hey, lady. We've got Nan's Life and Gloria. We've got JD. Who else? We've got Gazwall. Iced Coffee. Who else have we got here? We've got Katie did it. We've got Ronald D. We've got TTM Fangirl. We've got TJ. Hi, TJ Lurker. We've got Anthony D. We have, is that it? Yep, that's it for now, Jack. That's everyone for now. So hello and welcome to every one of you. Thank you so much for joining us again tonight.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And thanks to everyone that's coming
And thank you for your support.
Absolutely. Come and dissect these calls a bit more. We got a doozy to start with. And I'm going to preface this one just a little bit. We're into, we're still into November 3rd, but we're later in the evening. And this call is the Coburn calling about the plates. But you have to back up a couple of hours because there was an alert that went out at 6:43 or 6:53. I don't remember exactly. There was an alert attempt to locate an ATL through Manitowoc to all patrol. I talked about this a little last night. We don't have it, of course, but we know the time because we've got the incident report 8844 that shows that alert went out. Coburn would have gotten it just like everyone else. And it gave a description of Teresa, her car, everything, date of birth, license plate, everything. Also, I think he made a statement. I don't remember exactly where it's at, but he had made a statement that Wiegert had also given him this information. So the question becomes, why did he call in? What was he doing? Now, there was discussion that he was behind the RAV and he was reading it off. But we don't know that. I'm not going to implicate it. I'm not going to insinuate it. The call is what it is. There is some other dispatchers talking in the background because he's calling into dispatch. And then there's generally, I think, at least two on duty, at least up until the midnight shift. Typically after midnight, you don't really hear a lot of conversation in the background other than because this dispatch center not only had field phone calls coming in, they also field the radio transmissions as well. So sometimes you'll hear that. Anyway, so I wanted to preface this call with that information for anyone that may be new and don't know, or maybe you'd forgot. I do find it odd that he's, according to what we know, he's already been told that SWH 582 belongs to Teresa Halbach's car. So why is he calling in? I think it's weird, but anyway. Jerome?
And if I can make a point on that, pay attention to his voice, because his voice looks like somebody who are in I will not say a deep shit, but somebody who is not well at all. Pay attention to his voice and tell me what you think after that.
There you go. All right, let's get this rolling. I'm going to play this call. It's about 1 minute and 3 seconds. If we need to replay any part of it, we can do that. So here we go. Oh, if you're here in Discord, you will have to unmute YouTube. So mute yourself here, and so you'll be able to hear it if you're listening through speakers. All right, here we go.
Manitowoc County Sheriff's Department, this is Lynn.
Lynn.
Hi, Andy.
Can you run Sam William Henry 582? See if he comes back to that.
Sam William Henry 582. I need total then, please. Alrighty. Do you speak any Spanish there, Andy? I'm just going to call the top of the list since mine on-call didn't call me back. I don't want to get in trouble, Andy. I get in trouble. You know? What am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
My favorite one is in the city of Manitowoc. Yes. Okay, it shows that she's a missing person, and it lists to Teresa Halbach.
Okay.
Okay, that's what you're looking for, Andy?
99 Toyota.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
You're so welcome. Bye-bye.
99 Toyota. So he already knew. Or, I mean, he's a car guy, but, you know, the Toyotas, the models did change kind of style every couple of years, but I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, but did they know say, I don't know if it was during court or somewhere else, but he went to the office and he was given these details in the office, so he already knew the registration number and everything like that, in my opinion. So he's, in my opinion, he's standing in front of that car, or he's looking at that car when he's putting in that number.
The meeting was after 8 o'clock. I don't remember exactly what time. It was like, remember the 11-minute call I played? I think it was at like 8:30, the piece that night. So the alert, the attempt to locate came out, broadcast throughout anyone on patrol. It was 6:43 or 6:53, something like that. It was before 7 o'clock. It was long before he ever went to that meeting. So he already knew prior to that. And here we are at 9:22 p.m. Why is he calling in?
He has no reason to call in.
That's right. He does not.
No reason at all.
I
it's
agree.
so weird. It's so weird, and I don't know if you have paid attention to his voice, but when he laughs, it's forcing. It's You see, it's like somebody who's not well because he had find something or he is stressed by something. You see what I mean?
Yes. It's a forced laugh because he's distressed.
Yeah, exactly.
He's in a situation that, you know, he's distracted totally by his situation, and he's trying to laugh at her joke. And what he's doing is serious, and what she's doing is funny.
Yeah, in my opinion, that's exactly what happened. Yeah. And I agree with Alice. In my opinion, he's in front of the car. But it's just my opinion.
Well, you know, that call has been played, and obviously we can't prove, but I know end result. That's what oftentimes what I look at is end result. There is...
Yeah, and Anthony House, hi Anthony. He's joined us now, and he says Colburn may have been at the turnaround looking at the car.
Maybe.
Because that's what Ramelow told him at the Cenex station, is that he's seen Teresa's RAV at the turnaround. So as he then went from the station to the turnaround, seen the car, called it in, and then that's how they've managed to get their horns on the motor to be able to plant it in the salvage yard. I mean, that's been a thought of mine for a while.
Well, there is the global report that, you know, there's been a lot of debate about where the RAV does show it was seized on 11/3. That's the way it reads. However, again, there are complications with that because and we really need someone that was there that's willing to come forward and tell us exactly how that system worked. So what I'm saying is, if an incident or report is generated on 11/3 at a certain time, and then as time the report incident stays open, and then on, you know, whatever 11/4 something else happens, but it's because the incident was started on 11/3, it dates that shit that happens on 11/4, that event that happens on 11/4, Does it still say mean it's? Does it dated as 11/3? You follow what I'm saying? We don't know exact. Well, I've been told by other sources that that's kind of how this form that got generated was. So things could get added, like the RAV being seized on 11/5 allegedly, would show up as 11/3. Do I know that that's true for sure? I don't. Do I know that they actually seized it on 11/3? I don't know that either. That's what I'm saying. We need someone that was there, that's willing to come forward and tell us exactly how that was, worked.
Aye.
Sherry Lynn made a comment. What I didn't want to pass it up because this is something that I can't remember. I think it may have been yours or I don't remember who it was that pointed out here, and it's not been too long ago. The meeting or conference call and Colburn being at the junkyard are at basically the same time. He knew what her plate was. Well, there is a time. That's not. Yeah, correct. Here's how that came up, if I'm remembering properly that story, because Stephen and Chuck had went to Menards at don't ask me what time, but it's around this time frame. It's sometime after 6 after dinner time. They went to Menards to pick up some supplies, right?
Yeah, right. It was at 7:50, I think.
And we know from 8844 that Colburn was at the Avery salvage yard doing something. We don't know what. Well, because we don't have a report. It's not explained why he was there. It's it seemed like it was like 20 or 30 minutes. So there's that.
Because it makes sense, because if you want to hide something, cover up something, you will not mention it in a report.
Well, I mean, let's just say that the plates got removed from the RAV. We talked a little bit about that last night. There was no registration or insurance card in the glove box or wherever in that RAV. So if the plates got removed, rolled up, and thrown in there, when did that happen? Could it happen then? Again, I'm not saying that that's what happened. And I don't. But it is. So anyway, that's a good point, Sherry Lynn. Thank you for reminding me of that. See any other comments before?
That's it though, Jack. I mean, we think that we get answers to the questions that we've got, but then it just gives us even more questions and speculation and everything like that, So, and that's what's wrong with this case. I mean, Brendan and Stephen are supposed to be in jail under no doubt, you know what I mean? But yeah, this case is full of doubts from the very beginning to the very end, even through the appeals. It's ridiculous.
And if we boil it down, whose fault is that? It's the state.
Yeah.
It's these calls that were screwed with. These calls have been fucked with. I'm 100% convinced of that. 100%.
Yeah.
I think there was a lot of evidence tampered with in this case.
These CDs, DVDs, I want to be clear about this. I still think there's at least one more, if not two, that MTSO has withheld, specifically from November 4th, because we don't have a single radio transmission from Manitowoc on that day. Not one. And I'm telling you, that's just not reasonable to accept that. Anyway, way back in the day, I'll explain this, especially for the newer people that may not understand the process here. Way back in 2018, AC Rookie, Open Records requested from Manitowoc these radio transmissions and telephone calls, dispatch calls. And eventually he got 13 CDs, DVDs, and everything got uploaded and shared. So, but he knew there were more, and without saying how he knew that, it doesn't matter. But the information came out that there were at least 35 CDs, DVDs of these various phone calls and so forth. Anyway, Lieutenant Ledebina retired at the end of 2021. Lieutenant Todd Cummings stepped in as records. Well, let me preface this. In every county of Wisconsin, the main records custodian is the sheriff. His word is final. But they can assign other people within whatever as records custodians to help him, because he didn't have time to deal with that kind of stuff. So they typically assign someone to do that, even though they may be told, if a record that they may not want to release or whatever, that may get discussed. But nonetheless, Larry Ledebina was the records custodian for a long time, years and years. Once he retired at the end of 2021, Lieutenant Todd Cummings took over that position. Now, he's been with the department a long time too, but it wasn't long. He found 23 more CDs, DVDs, 23 for a total of 35. 2 of those were marked. One was marked Halbach Discovery radio transmission. The other one was marked Halbach Discovery Telco, TELCO. That's why you see them labeled as Telco in the file play playlist. They're telephone calls. Those had never been submitted, turned over to anyone. To back that up, I was doing another records request last year. I also requested, because if you look at the CASO ledgers, if you go through them, there's one entry, don't ask me which property tag number it is, but it has a property tag. It's in the ledgers. These calls were turned over from Manitowoc to Calumet. So I thought, what the hell? I'll go ahead and request them and see what I get. Well, they come back along with the other items I'd requested. I was told that there were 32 CDs, DVDs from Manitowoc. Fine. I knew there were 35, but at this point in time, I already knew it. So what I actually received was 33. I'm thinking, okay, where's the other 2? So I wrote back to Calumet, Wiegert, and I think Amanda was there. I can't remember whoever he designated. I think Amanda Bunnell, and said, look, I know there's 35 of these. Can you please double check for the other 2 DVDs, not even label them what they're supposed to be? He comes back and tells me, that's all we've got. You've got everything we have. So one of the 2 things is happening here. Either Manitowoc did not give them everything, or Calumet lied to me. One of the 2. It's that simple. Because there are at least 2 more. I think there's a third one. I think there's another one. I think there's 36 or 37 total. But without being able to see it, put my hands on it, I can't prove that. I just wanted to tell that story so everybody is clear about this process of just all this bullshit. It's just, and like Al said, it's created so many problems with the investigation and the process. So you guys can comment about that if you wish, or not. I just wanted to get that out.
Jack, if I can, I was thinking about something yesterday, and it's just a theory, but this theory makes sense for everything. So I don't know if it's the good time to talk about that. Maybe later.
Go ahead. Well, go ahead. No, get it out there. When we'll get to the next call, go ahead.
I'm going to try to be the most clear I can. I was asking myself if all this story was not a story of revenge. A revenge, and I say it's a theory, a revenge from Tom Yonda. Because Tom Yonda left the property on October 15. And you know, in this kind of case, when you are in a separation with your wife, and your wife have already a new boyfriend, I don't know, but it's not pleasant. And if I was asking myself if the first target to blame and to set up from the killer was not Stephen, but Bob and Scott. Because we find the bones in the Dassey barrel. We suppose that Colburn was on the highway 143 when he was there looking at the RAV4 near the trailer of Scott. And what Zellner thinks, she thinks that Scott and Bobby are involved. Maybe they figure out what did happen. There was somebody trying to frame them, and they've moved the RAV4 to the salvage yard to hide the car, because they were really in a deep shit if the car was found there. But it was all benefit for Manitowoc because it was so close from the Stephen property. And it's just a theory, but you know, sometimes it's more easy than we think. We think it's a giantess plot.
Conspiracy. Yeah, go ahead.
At the end of the day, it was a story of revenge, and the police had it was a good opportunity for the law enforcement to put that on Stephen, and that's maybe why Bobby was the star witness of the accusation, because he was a kind of trap between the reality and what he needs to tell. Because if they figure out there was the target of the killer of Teresa, to frame them, to frame even Bobby, but the police have seen that in other eyes and frame Stephen, Bobby can go back up. He can, and what happened after? Bobby is trying, maybe in lying in court, to defend his little brother, because he knows that for Stephen it's over. So his lie, he agreed to talk to the police, but not about the revenge of Tom Yonda. And do you know what I was thinking about that? I was thinking about that because the cat incident. I know the people who were there for the cat accident, the cat burning accident. It was Stephen, Tom Yonda, his brother, and Pete Dassey. This is Pete Dassey who told me they were there.
That's
and
right.
What Stephen had take them on him because Tom Yonda was on probation.
And Stephen took the blame. That's right.
Yeah,
that's exactly right.
And because Tom was on probation, and when you think of serial killer, they love to have made cruelty with animals. And Tom Yonda had put the cat in the fire. It was him.
He later admitted, I don't know exactly the time frame, but it wasn't too terribly long, after Avery, after Stephen had said, it was me. It was Yonda actually went and admitted to it, and he got fined, had to pay a fine, and something else. I think I've got the newspaper article that someone.
You are right.
Yeah, someone
You're
shared.
right. When you look at the history of serial killer, they start all the time with little animals. And I was thinking, this is maybe a history of revenge with somebody who is capable to kill a human being. But I don't know if we know where Tom Yonda was on the 31. I don't know if Tom Yonda was questioned by the law enforcement. I don't know all of that. So it's just a supposition, it's just a theory, but it fits with everything. I think it fits with everything we know today. I don't know what you think, guys.
Well, I mean, it's not. It's by. I mean, it could. Yeah, it could have happened that way. It's possible because there's so much you have to think about, and I talk about this. I've talked about it before. A lot of what we talk about are snapshots in time. They're moments, and they're only moments. So we're forced to, based on what we read, what we hear, listen to, these various recordings, news reports, and so forth, statements that others make in and around this family. We have to, we've been forced to kind of piece together, cobble together as best we can what was going on in real time. Now, Stephen, when he got out, around this time frame, he was scheduled to get, he was supposed to get $400,000 from the state. That money had already been approved, and they were. This was talking about the Avery bill about people being questioned and so forth. In October, going into November 2005, he was supposed to get this $400,000. Now he had already gotten like $53,000 or $55,000, and he used part of that to pay off some legal stuff and some other things. And then he had money left, 20-something thousand, that he bought that Ford F-350 with, that big black truck. He used the rest of that to buy that truck. So, and he was scheduled, again, like I said, was scheduled to get more money from the state. And then, of course, all hell broke loose on October 31st. They're just, to add to that, there had to be some jealousies and infighting within the family with these various, because again, these people have a lot. I mean, they lived, but they weren't rich, they were poor. So, you think thinking about another family member getting $400,000 or $500,000 freaking dollars, and then the lawsuit, God, he could have gotten, I mean, I think that if it went forward, I think that they would have settled out of court for probably $5-6 million. That's what I think. I don't know that it's true, but
I'm agree with you. In some kind, there was a lot of jealousy about
yes,
that.
Yes, absolutely.
But it comes from a member of a family or an ex-member of a family or the family. I don't know.
Candy. I'll say her name. I'm not afraid, because to me, she. Go ahead, Alice.
Well, Jinx in chat says there is a call with Barb and Brendan where Brendan said if he could shoot a cat, could he shoot a person? And that was meant about Tom. And then she says Tom did have pictures taken on September 19th, 2005. And while she was there, I think she took a picture of another car of the Averys on that day, meaning Teresa, I think so.
Yeah, and Tom Yonda had already access to the Dassey computer. So it was maybe him and not Bobby watching this horrible thing on the internet.
Well, with the computer,
Yeah,
to
I
me,
know what they say about that. Yeah, I know.
I personally think that it wasn't just one person. I think that you got brothers that are teenagers and they're saying, "God, did you see this shit here? Look at this," and then another one will get on and try to find something worse. Guys, God, you got to look at this. I think it was all of them. Personally, yeah, that's.
So, yeah, it's really possible. Yeah, that's the thing happened between friend and brother when, at the young age, at the beginning of internet, you were
that's right
on internet and go, oh, whoa, come on. I have a picture. I have a lot of picture of Nirvana in a concert, and look at that. Look, Kurt's guitar, and for me it was that I was not looking at that girl and rape and stuff like that. But
well, you're old enough. You remember the craziness that was around with the internet when things really blew up in the 90s. It really just went wild. It really did.
Oh yeah, and it changed the world forever because
it did.
I'm born in '79, and the world was really, really different before internet.
Well, I got you by a few years. I was born in '61, so I'm an old part. Older. I'm an older Southern gentleman. How about that?
my liege.
Might clarify something with
Susan.
Hi.
How are you?
Made it home from work.
Awesome. So what you got?
Good. How are you?
Good. So what you got?
I was listening to his theory, and I thought he said that Tom Yonda was a part of the cat incident, which that was Jerry Yonda with a Y.
Yeah, it was Jerry that actually did it, but Tom was there.
Tom Yonda was there?
I think so. Yep. I think Tom was also there.
Jerry Yonda, Pete Dassey, and Steven.
Yeah.
I know that from
Jerry Yonda's name is spelled with a Y, not a J, so they're not related. I didn't realize Tom Yonda was there, and also who else did you say?
Pete Dassey.
Pete Dassey.
Pete Dassey. I didn't know he was there either for that.
Yeah, there was four of them.
Yeah, he told me. We were with Steven, Tom Yonda, and Jerry Yonda at the cat accident.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know why he will lie to me. He's a friend of mine, so.
I don't think he would, but nonetheless, getting back to this whole thinking in real time about the possibilities of who did what. I'm 100% convinced Brendan and Stephen had nothing to do with it. 100%. Everything else then had to be built around that. And when the police are in control of everything, we won't talk about it now. I'll only mention the key and the absolute bullshit surrounding that key. If they'll do that, they'll do anything. So I won't say you're.
I have listened. I don't know. Yeah, I have listened a podcast 3 days ago, and what was again the name of the cops we were with Lank and Colborn when they find the key?
It was Kaharski.
Okay, Kaczarski.
That's right. Yes, that's right.
Yeah, we have a kind of proof. This is in one of the reports. Then 3 hours prior this research, he was with Josh Braden in his trailer for a long moment, and we don't know what happened there, but he was with Josh Braden, and Josh Braden have easily access to the Avery property.
And Cuss Road.
and Cuss Road.
That's
He's
right.
he's on the middle of the triangle between Cuss Road, Stevens trailer, and the D camp.
Absolutely. It's right there.
Josh Radon, for me, is a person of interest. For Zellner, no. I don't know why. But for me, he's a person of interest.
Well, it's interesting that, he agreed to talk to her with his lawyer present. Maybe that's
with his lawyer present.
Maybe that's to protect himself. I can't really knock him too much for that. At the same time,
but if you don't,
well, Zellner's not law enforcement, so she, I don't know how much. I don't think it really changed anything that she asked him. I don't, but anyway, go ahead.
He was the first one to talk about the bonfire. Yes, he was the first one.
Yeah, and on top of that, we've been looking at these photos on Jeff Jones' channel in some of the lives after the premiere we do every other week, and looking at the photographs from the deer camp over to the Avery property. There's no way he could have seen Avery's bun barrel in the front of his house. There's no way.
No way.
No, it had to be a Dassey burn barrel. That's what we're thinking. It had to be the Dassey burn barrel. So
yeah, no way.
Well, it's pretty clear also in some of the DCI reports that, and for what he said in his affidavit, that the DCI agents leaned on him pretty hard because they kept going back to.
Don't you think it's really weird? Then he agreed to talk to Zellner, but with his lawyer present. If you have nothing to hide, what you can have as problem to talk with a lawyer like Zellner, who is the lawyer of Stephen, and according to him, Stephen was one of his friends. So why he need to have his lawyer present when Zellner come to questioning him if it's nothing to hide?
That's would really, for me, I don't know. I can't really answer that question other than to say that maybe he felt like he needed to protect himself with legal advice, depending on what question that she put to him. Because the things that you say in an affidavit are legally binding. So I think maybe I can't really knock him too hard, Jerome. I just can't from a legal standpoint, because this is an affidavit is like sworn testimony that you're not in court, but it's still sworn testimony, just like you're in court. So it can be used. It can be used. It can be used against him.
Yeah, I agree. And I understand. But if he's agreed, then Stephen is innocent, and but because it looked like that he thinks Stephen and Brandon are innocent, why you need to protect yourself from?
I get what you're saying. I do. I understand. It is a little weird, but I can't knock him too hard for it. But I do get what you're saying.
No, I understand. I understand. Yeah.
So who else? I think we've got Susan's jumped in here with.
Yeah, we've got a few people who have joined us in chat now. We've got Chicken Convictions who's joined us. Hi, Linda. It's nice to see you. We've got Under Your Scars who's joined us. And we've got John Wayne and Colette M as well. So, hello.
Excellent. Thanks, everybody. Thanks.
Audra M has joined us as well. Hi, Audra. Nice to see you back again.
Absolutely.
I love your movie, John Wayne. I love the movie. You're great guys.
All right. Let's move on to this next call. And this is again, we're still on the third. This is at 9:58 at night. Dennis Jacobs calls in to see if Remaker and crew got inside the zippers. Again, Dennis Jacobs. So let's listen to this call. It's not very long, I don't think. Let's see. Yeah, it's only 1 minute and 6 seconds, so let's give this a listen. Remember, if you're in Discord, you'll need to unmute YouTube. So here.
Nassau County Sheriff, Ann speaking.
Well, Ann, how are you?
Just fine.
Good, hang on. Did Coburn and Ramaker and Dietering out of Calumet get in by zipper, do you know?
I think they're there right now.
Yep, they've been there for quite a while.
Oh.
I didn't know if they got into the house or if he ever answered the door.
I don't know. Who is this?
You don't recognize my voice, I'm hurt.
I did, but then it didn't sound like you anymore, so that's
Yeah,
why
I was on speakerphone, and I picked up the handset. It would be me, Dennis, 209.
Okay. We don't know if they got in to talk to him or not, or... But I don't know for sure. Dispatch 432, do you have contact?
I heard that.
There's your answer.
Great. Thank you, Ann.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
There you go. So it's at 21:58:59. It sounds like they're inside because she did the radio dispatch. You heard her say it, and the reply back. So like I was saying earlier, these dispatchers not only answer the phone, they also have to handle radio transmissions as well. So that's why oftentimes you hear this stuff in the background as we go along. So interesting call. Jacobs again was all over the place, kind of behind the scenes, but no reports that we were privy to. Okay. This next call, I added this in today as I was going through. This call is also in another batch of calls. This came from the miscellaneous telecall calls. I went ahead and grabbed it. Wiegert calls over to Manitowoc MTSO, and there actually has to be a second call because they couldn't get him. She couldn't get him the first time. I think all I'd grabbed was the second call, so we didn't have to listen to the first one because it's nothing. She tried to connect them, but it didn't work, so he called back. So let me grab this link.
Jinx in chat says, I found out the other day that Brad Dassey confirms at some point the PC was in the living room. So is Bobby mistaken, being it so many years later? Well, no, really, because that could be easily explained if she asked Brad to come over and have a look at the computer. She could have moved the computer from the bedroom into the living room, and then the computer's been put back
Exactly.
in the
Exactly.
bedroom when they've took the video of it being in the bedroom.
Exactly.
Yeah, because you will not fix the problem of a computer in a little room on the little room of the boy. You will do that on the living room. So it makes sense that for one moment the computer was on the living room when Brad come from fix the problem on the computer. It makes sense, yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I mean, that's just an explanation of why it was in the living room, because I see Jinx has put, but both Barb and Bobby both said it was in the living room. Yeah, there was a possibility it was in the living room at a certain point.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean to say that it stayed in the living room, because you can clearly see in the video that was taken, it was in Bobby's room. So,
exactly.
you know, I mean, that's the only explanation that I could think of. So he could be mistaken. Yes, Jinx, it could be mistaken. The both of them could be mistaken. It could have been in the living room and then put it into the room. You know,
I'm
I
agree
mean,
with you, Alice.
yeah, there is other explanations for it, for reasons, you know, for it not being in the room. But maybe when at that time that Brad has went to look at the computer was in the living room, so that's why he's saying it was in the living room. That could be why Bobby and Barb are both saying that it was in the living room. But from the time that has happened, from when Brad's seen it in the living room, it has now then been moved from the living room into Bobby's bedroom because it's on film that in Bobby's bedroom. So
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
100% agree with you.
But Bobby also said that the computer was never in his bedroom, that his bedroom was too small.
No, he's wrong about that. That's a mistake. It wasn't his bedroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we know that Bobby lied for. Sorry.
Yeah, he did.
I was saying.
He did, Jerome. Go ahead.
I was saying we know that Bobby is lying at some point. It's a fact. When he claims that the car of Teresa was still there when he left, it's a lie. When he made other declaration, that was lie. But I think he was to protect Brendan. It's my opinion. I think Bobby was trying to help Brendan the most he can because he knew already that Steven was fucked up. It was over for Steven.
I think, listening to Jinx got the Bobby Dassey interview and listening to that, I think by this point in time, he was trying to protect himself too, because no matter what, in all of this, and it's undeniable, he was there when she was. He was at home when she was there, according to his testimony.
Yeah.
And so, again, I think that they leaned on him hard. I think they pushed him hard and compromised him to such a degree that, he had to do what he had to do to protect himself. Unfortunately, because of that, and I'm going to say it, this is my opinion, Candy Avery, and trying to get Steven, roped Brendan in by the neck. He got yanked into it, and she's directly involved. And I don't care how you cut it, she's directly involved because she's the one. Yeah. She's the one in February or whenever the hell it was. They contacted Fassbender and said, "Hey, you need to check these messages out, these IMs out on my computer with Brendan." So if that hadn't happened, I think certain other events wouldn't have happened either. So anyway, I don't want to get too far off track, but yeah, absolutely. The computer was definitely in the bedroom during the week of November, that week, whatever day it was, between the 3rd and the 12th, because we've got it on video.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, we know a lot of people lied, Jinx. I mean, we're no, I'm no saying that. You were saying about could Bobby have been mistaken about it being somewhere? Yeah, but it was Brad has said it was in the living room when he seen it, which it could have been taken out a bedroom or it could have been stationed in the living room at that stage that Barbara and that are saying that it was in the living room.
That's right.
For the time that it was in the living room to the time that video got took, that computer got took from the living room and put in that bedroom. And Bobby said that computer was never in his bedroom. So that is a lie. So yes, he lied.
And it could have easily been moved back after that at some point, after they went back and the cops released the property. It could have been moved again. We're not privy to that, but
yeah.
When you know well the case, apart from Stephen, who have already told the same story, everybody has lie or change their statement. Everyone.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, let's get this next call. So as I was saying, yeah, this is Uyghur calling Singlub, and this is at this call. And this miscellaneous call, it says 11:03 till. You see the date there on the screen, and it's got which dispatch dispatch number. This is 4305 or 4205. I'm sorry, that number of lines that these calls were received on. 4201 and 4202 are the main lines, but there are other ones too. So anyway, it's dated between 11:03 and 11:12, but this call is also in another group of calls that are, I think it's 11:03. I'm almost positive it is. So, but anyway, I grabbed it from the miscellaneous list. So let's give it a listen right quick. And I think this one is another one of those where Wiegert, from his end, it's not very loud. It's as loud as I can make it without yanking it down and doing some enhancement. But if you got headphones on, you should be able to hear it or crank your volume up. It's not very long. Well, actually, this one is a little bit longer. So let's give it a listen. If you need to pause me or stop me, just say so and I'll stop it. All right, here we go.
Hi, is Scott in there?
Yep. Sure, Scott.
Hey, Scott, when I hang up, it's Investigator Uyghur from Calumet County.
Okay. Sure, Scott, can I help you?
Hey, is it Scott?
Yeah.
Scott Mark Uyghur from Calumet.
How you doing, man?
How you doing?
Excellent.
Good. Hey, I want to give you guys a heads up. You heard our missing person complaint a little bit? No?
Okay, run it by me again.
Are you familiar with that missing persons complaint from our county?
No.
Okay, I'll give you a thumbnail sketch. We got a girl, Teresa, that's missing from our county. She was last seen over in York County on Monday.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we've been working on this for a couple of days with some of your detectives and shit. She hasn't been heard from since Monday.
I'm going to tell you what, I come off of my days off and all this shit happens, huh?
Nobody tells you anything, huh?
No, this is the first I'm hearing about it. What's the girl's first name?
Teresa Halbach. She was a freelance photographer, and she was going and she was by a George Zipper, which was Highway B, I guess, which is equally as.
Oh, good.
So they're going to be doing a search in that area now. It's not sanctioned by us. They called us and let us know. And we said,
okay.
Just know like your tomorrow.
I will, man.
Okay. Any questions? Just give me a call.
All right, bud.
All right. Thanks.
See ya.
Bye.
I'm going to let this continue to play. I don't remember what else is on here. That's the main one I wanted to get to because it's Singlub.
Nothing they can do, really. Out in the garage, I got one of them. I could get you when I'm going up. We can go up. Hey. Nothing. You probably know more than I do.
Oh, yeah, I know some stuff. I don't want to say it over there.
Right.
I'm thinking if we move to that VFW club.
I know some stuff, but I don't want to say it over the air. Really? I don't know who he's talking to. I'm not even entirely sure who it is. I don't know if this is Singlub or another officer, detective, whatever. I don't know. Thought that was a strange passage. I remember that now. Wow, let's just continue to play.
I was going to go to that.
What do we need?
I'm thinking, just some regular tape, and then big posters, like when you're in classes, flip boards or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe if we could get a couple of those, if they start doing timelines, it's just writing down notes and they could tape them on walls or whatever.
Sure, I can line that up.
Anything you could think of that, they might need. I think it just saves us a trip. You have something that you think we need, and maybe, I don't know.
Well, we got a count over at
badge or don't we badge your office supplies or whatever?
Probably do, yeah. So, so instead I thought just...
So they're going to be there at what time? 8?
Well, they're going to go to the fire department at 8. I don't think there's going to be many people left at the thing so far as you get. But just if you're there and somebody does need something.
Okay, so you definitely ain't going to need a second person at checkpoint.
No searchers today.
Okay, because Randy was, or Jason would have done it, but...
Yeah, tell him he can disregard.
Okay.
Or if nothing else, yeah. And, I don't know if let's say it's going to take you a little bit longer and Jason just wants to sit by the command post in case anybody needs anything. He kind of cleaned out things yesterday.
I should be up there before 8. I'm going to wrap things up here.
I think we got most of it at the department.
Sounds good.
All right, thanks much.
Later. Bye.
Sheriff's Department.
Inspector Shredder, what's up?
Hey, Jason, are you the afternoon shift commander?
No, this is Mike Polish.
Oh, it's Mike. All right. Sounded like Jason R. almost.
Ouch.
Oh.
What's up?
The Calumet had a dog taken from here, and they got some evidence over at Dr. Koss that needs to be picked up. If a Beat 1 car can
That would be me.
sweep past Dr. Koss, grab that evidence, and bring it out and drop it off at the command post.
Immediately or when I go 10-8?
Yeah, when you go 10-8.
Okay, I'll be bringing your check out too then, I think.
Alrighty.
All right. How big of a container is it in, or?
I think it's a pile of dog shit.
Gee, thanks.
And we're going to be analyzing. Well, I'm sure Dr. Koss has it.
Has it properly packaged, I'm hoping?
Yeah, I hope so too.
Okay.
But it said it'll probably be small.
Okay, you need to talk to the shift commander at all? John's not the shift commander today.
Yeah.
Andy is.
Okay, no, just tell Andy what you're doing.
Okay.
All right, very good.
Later.
Bye.
So it's a pile of dog shit he needs to pick up. Let's into that. Okay, interesting call. This other guy saying I got some stuff, but I don't want to say it on air. And that was another huge issue within a lot of these calls. If you go through and listen to them, 1021, call me on my cell phone. That happened. I lost count of how many times. It's literally probably hundreds of times. Give me a call on my cell. Hey, here's my cell number. And they kept it off the air. I think that's wrong. It's absolutely wrong. If it's case related, it belongs in this domain. So anyway, that's that.
Jack, if I can.
Please.
Just a point. Do you know that Ken Krutz was part of the society who provide the missing poster?
Not Ken Kratz. It was. I forgot this guy.
It was Ken Kratz. Yeah.
No, it was the guy from the YES Foundation. I can't remember his name. Maybe somebody in the live chat can remember that. Was it Jay
Breyer?
Yeah, he's part of that organization that.
Jay Breyer. Yeah, but I think I have seen multiple times that Ken Kratz was part of this society.
He may have been. That part may be true. I don't know that, but it could be true. Absolutely. I don't know, but I think I have heard that.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm wrong.
Yeah, no, Jinx is saying it was Kratz who used to be on the board.
There you go. Yeah, I think she did some research into that. That question came up some time ago. So, okay. This next one's a doozy, and I'm going to preface this and tell just a brief story, and I'm going to tell you something else too. This call is from my research, personal research. Somebody can go prove me wrong if they want. I'll give them all the files they want. But based on the timestamps, and I'm going to show you something here in a second. Based on the timestamps of these calls, this call is about 4 minutes short. And this is the Tom Pierce call. And we're moving into November 4 now. And it's the first call because it's right after midnight, right? So I'm going to show you something here that I put together because, well, I just did. This call in itself is broke apart into 55 WAV files. And you're going to see this. I don't know if you'll see it on here, but you're going to see it right here. Yeah. I did it this way because there were those in the community that said that we were withholding parts of the call. And that came about because originally when Jinx made the recording of the call, she didn't know how to do the autoplay with the Freedom Player. There's an option where you can load files up into the Freedom Player and do an autoplay, and they'll just play one after the other. Well, she didn't know that way back then. So every time one of these WAV files would end, it's the same call, she would have to double click and go to the next call to keep it in order, right? So these various individuals were saying, "Oh, well, you're making cuts in the call." No, no. Spend your $5 or whatever to CASO and get your own copy, and you'll see exactly how she didn't cut anything at all. Anyway, getting back to this, the reason I did it this way was to show these calls, and you can see them lined up there. Each one of those on the left, you'll see at the top window, each one of these is a WAV file that came out of what you see on the right, which was loaded on my hard drive. And so you can drag them over and then put them into autoplay mode, and they'll just play one after the other. Anyway, so this call ended up being whatever the hell it is, 19 minute. You'll see. So I started doing the math. The call start time is at 12:06:15, and you can see these calls are identified by their WAV file, and if you know how to read it, it says 4/11/2005, but it's 11/4, and this is all in military time. It's a 24-hour clock, so we can see that this is right after midnight on the 4th. This is when it started. So you just go down through, and he was put on hold for a very short amount of time. Anyway, the call, he gets put on hold, and as we know, Leslie Lemieux took the call. And the end time, I think I've also got that zoomed in, is at 12:29:51. You got to add 17 seconds for the length of the call, which I did. So it ended, as it said, 12:29:30, and I added the time. We ended up with 19 minutes and 31 seconds. This is give or take a second, okay? But that's roughly it. That's pretty close to it. I did an elapsed time calculator, and it does the math for you, because it can get a little screwy, when you start messing with minutes and seconds. But if you do the total, this call should have been 23 minutes and 35 seconds. And that's roughly 4 minutes shy of what we actually have. So I thought that was interesting. I did this sometime after the fact. I don't remember exactly when I did it. It's been a couple of years ago. But I thought it was interesting. Anybody's welcome to go check me. In fact, I'll welcome it. Anybody that was feeling, gung-ho or whatever and said, "Oh, no, you're full of shit." Go check it yourself. The timestamps are right there on each call or each WAV file. So it just continues on and on and on and on. Somewhere in there, my opinion, and from my research, about roughly 4 minutes was removed from his call. Why they didn't make this make this one single call, which they could do. They didn't have to break this file, because we have calls at CASO dispatch that are 4, 5, 6 minutes long. No problem. It's one file. So they could have done it here too, and they didn't. Why did they break it? I can't answer that question. Anyway, I wanted to preface that before we actually played the call. It's this is roughly a 20-minute call, so I'm sure we'll stop it several times throughout the course of it. Questions, comments before we start? Wow, quiet class tonight. Impressive.
And Linda in chat is saying she remembers that issue and the crap going around at the time. I think she's meaning when people were saying that the calls were fiddled with and everything like that.
That we had withheld information.
Yeah. Checking conviction says she remembers when that happened and everything like that.
Absolute bullshit. I invited at least 3 people to order the CD themselves. You can get your own copy and go listen to it. It's crazy. We have no reason to withhold anything unless Zeller asks us to withhold. Of course we will.
But that's different because that could inflict her case.
That's right.
If something gets put out there that she doesn't want it because she could want to use it in a motion or something like that. So that is completely understandable. But we always put out the information when we get it, like we've done with the Colburn Netflix
Lawsuit.
Case.
That's right.
All the documents that we've got. All people needs to do, if they want to see the information that we put on our screens, if they want to see that information, all they have to do is go to the website and click on the website. It is all there, free for anybody to go and have a look and dig more and do more research in this case.
Yep,
and I encourage everybody to do that. Don't just watch the documentary, because we've all been duped by a documentary. We've done our research. Some of us have been on this case. I mean, I've been on it 4 years. Jack and Nat have been on it since it came out in 2016, 15, 16. So that's 5, 6 years. So, I mean, it's no like we're just pumping our gums and letting our bellies rumble, you know what I mean? We actually do the work and we do it for free and we share it with everyone.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we are not hiding anything. Law enforcement did.
No, that's right. And they're the ones, they're the original editors. They had control of it.
Yeah, they have control of everything. So imagine then, it's an hypothesis, but imagine you have a call between Wigert and Colborne say, "Oh, we have found Teresa's car and she is in, and she is dead." Do you really think they will put that in the information for the public?
No.
No way.
No, I don't. I think decisions were made to use this against Stephen for whatever reason. Yeah, I know what the reason, but absolutely. And they wanted the lawsuit over. They wanted it ended. They wanted him back in jail. That's exactly what they wanted. That's exactly what they got. End result.
Oh yeah, and protect their asses.
Oh, absolutely.
Because they don't have the money. The country don't have the money. They wasn't in a deep shit with this issue because they were already at zero because they spend a lot of money, and if they have to face a lawsuit and pay maybe not 36 million, but let's say $15 million, it's the bankrupt for the town, for the city, for the county, and it's really telling. So they are the one who hide the things. We are not the one who hide anything.
I think a reasonable amount, if it had been settled out of court, it would have been $5 to $7 million, like I said earlier, maybe $8. I don't know. I think that if they'd have offered Avery a couple $1 million, he would have taken and said, "Okay, done deal, it's over, move on." I think that he would have taken the money, set himself up with the new life, whatever. But
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
There's just no way they wanted Kasorik and Vogel on the stand and for that to move forward into a public format. No way. Not a chance.
No way, because the Manitowoc or the Calumet or the city all around there, they have, if I remember well, 2 approximately 2 million per year for what they need to do. So even with a lawsuit and $5 million, it's the bankrupt for the state.
Oh, it would have destroyed the county's budget. But the insurance. These insurance. Well, that too.
The cost and
absolutely
make a big problem in the justice system, because it will be the second time that the same person will be wrongfully convicted.
Well, the insurance carriers had already filed, I think, some kind of motion that they weren't going to cover. They weren't going to cover anything that these cops did that was outside of their
budget.
Well, outside of their duties as a police officer, they weren't going to cover it. So if they got caught doing something wrong, they weren't covering that shit. Anyway, all right.
Yeah.
So let's get back to this call. So this call, we have 19 minutes and 32 seconds. So let's get started on it. I'm sure we'll stop a number of times throughout. Again, if you hear anything you want me that you want to talk about, just stop me, and I will. All right, here we go.
Calumet County Sheriff's Department.
Oh, good evening. Hey, the Green Bay Police Department referred me to call Calumet County.
Okay.
In regards to the Teresa Halbach.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
This is Tom Pierce from Pierce Photography. She works with me. And I talked to her. That's why I went and talked to the Green Bay Police Department. I don't know if I have any information.
Okay.
Is there a detective on this case?
Actually, I do have someone here that might be interested in hearing what you have to say.
Oh.
Okay. Could you please hold?
Sure.
Okay. Corporal Leslie Lemieux.
I'm sorry?
This is Corporal Leslie Lemieux.
This is Tom Pierce from Green Bay.
Hi.
I don't know if the lady told you what I was calling about.
Yes, about Teresa?
Yes.
You have some information?
Well, she works with me.
Right.
With Tyler up here. And earlier this afternoon I called her mom.
Mm-hmm.
Her mother said that the Green Bay Police were looking at it, and I just got off actually talking to the Green Bay Police Department. They referred me to Calumet.
Mm-hmm. She was scheduled to come in today, or I was told that she works out of your studio.
Right.
As a self-employed freelance photographer.
She has her own. She runs her own photo business through my studio.
Okay.
So not that she works for me. We work together.
Okay.
She has her clients, and I have my clients and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I know she was doing that auto trader.
Yes, and we have spoke with them.
Oh, okay.
Were you expecting her to come in today, or was she supposed to have an appointment, or?
Yeah, she doesn't come in every day.
Mm-hmm.
But she has appointments. She'll come in, and get work caught up.
Right.
But I haven't seen her in a couple of days, and that's when I called her mom today.
Mm-hmm.
And then I called her, and her cell phone, the answering service.
Right.
Okay, that's not Teresa.
Mm-hmm.
that with the auto trader?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if this will help, but I know a few times she would tell me she had problems with the auto, not with the auto trader, but with some of the clients.
Uh-huh.
I often told her, I said, you got to be careful because, she's going.
Right.
And a couple times some of the guys got a little too friendly and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm. Did she ever mention any names or any particular stories or instances?
Yeah.
That you can recall?
That was in the past few weeks.
Not recently?
No, not recently. Maybe like a month and a half ago. The only other for the ad, I was thinking it could have been could have been a robbery or.
Okay.
The only other thing.
Right.
And typically a potential client would leave a message. And she even said, whoever it is actually calling me. And I'm not calling them back because I don't know who they are.
And she never picked up when they called?
No.
Well, we're going to be following up tomorrow and getting a hold of some phone records.
Oh.
So
if you need to compare them, because all her paperwork, a lot of her paperwork at the studio.
Okay.
I don't know if certainly come in and we can go.
Okay.
The match phone numbers, the legitimate number, or so forth.
Now, she had mentioned that to you?
What's that?
The phone calls to the unknown.
Oh, from the unknown? Yeah. Yeah.
Was it like a repeated, just kind of irritation?
Yeah, one day. There it is. Whoever called, just called 5 minutes ago. And she, because she gets that caller ID, and she gets the number, and they wouldn't leave a message.
Did she ever happen to show you the number, or you don't know the number? Okay.
That's, yeah. I mean, it was.
And this, do you know when that started, or how long it had been a problem?
Yeah, almost positive.
Okay.
She's been getting us for quite a few days. They wouldn't leave a message, they just call.
Okay. What?
And, I don't know if it means anything, but it sure is strange.
Now, you had mentioned that she had problems with some of the clients. Did she ever tell you a particular story or anything that really stuck out, or?
Well, yeah, this was during the summer. They have to fill out paperwork, and then they have to pay her. After she takes a picture of their car for the auto trader. So the guy invited her in, and he was talking and offered a couple drinks. And he was making some comments about her. And she had to have them fill out paperwork, and they paid. And she said, I just started feeling very uncomfortable. And then one time, that's why I said, you got to be careful. You can't be going in these people's houses, especially in some of them. She's out in the boonies, taking pictures. And she's very independent. She's all, I want to take care of myself.
We're 6.5 minutes in, so let's break here for just one moment. I do want to say to everyone, when you hear this dip out, and you can hear it as the recording's going, that's where it's going from one file to the next in the autoplay program in the Freedom Player. That has nothing to do with anything that's within our control. The only way that I could stop that is to record each one of these snippets, and then I've got another program that I could put them together, and the dip out would not be there. I could eliminate the dip out. So I just wanted to preface that. Where this call was edited through, I don't know. I don't know. I can't say for sure of these missing times. Last thing I'll say, and if you guys have any comments, then we'll get to it. He just mentioned about Teresa being invited into various people's houses for, have a drink or, a little hanky panky or, whatever, and him warning her, he was clearly disturbed by some of the things that she told him that was going on. And with, I guess in some situations with good reason. I don't think Teresa was a pushover by any means for anyone. I think she's a farm girl that probably would have kicked somebody right in the giblets if they tried anything weird. And she would have fought hard for her life. But I don't know. I just think this call has got a lot of interesting elements. You did hear him say also that he had called Karen and told her, hey, where's Teresa at? Of course, we're not privy to that call, but he did say he initiated it. And then obviously after that, apparently, is when Karen Halbach called Calumet County Dispatch to report her missing. So anyway, comments?
Yes. Why
I'd like to know why he did nothing on Monday when Teresa had an appointment, or Tuesday rather. She had an appointment to meet a woman and wasn't there, and I think Tom took care of her.
He did. That is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Jerome?
I don't trust that guy for a minute.
No, Tom Pierce is a shady character. And why did it not mention the strange call that Teresa was receiving, like he claimed in court? Because when this is the only thing he claimed in court, that Teresa was receiving some shady messages or shady calls, and she don't answer because she know who the person or the persons are or is, but Teresa never told him who it was. Why he doesn't mention that in the call?
Yeah. I don't know. I just have all kinds of issues with this call and him. So anyway.
Yeah, it's a shady character. It's a shady. I don't know. It's Tom Peace. I think everybody knows who is Sharon Sunshine. I think everybody knows who she is.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I've told to her 1 million hours, I think, and for her, a prime suspect is Tom Pierce.
Well, it is interesting. I don't know that. I don't know. Maybe I do think because of the level of detail that he went into with this call. Maybe it's just him just being, who he is. But it's almost like he had a man crush on Teresa. Him being an older man, and here he's got this young, good-looking 25-year-old intern. Well, she's not an intern at this point, but you know what I'm saying. She'd been with him for several years, helping him and learning the business.
Yeah. And jealousy could be
maybe
a reason for a murder. So
Tom Pierce also had friends in high places.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right.
He did. And we can't forget also that Tom Pierce gave her an emergency roadside kit. And think about that. Think about that lug wrench that was found in the back. Sanchez and Christina got those photos from the coroner that showed that showed that damn lug wrench. That lug wrench belonged to came from an emergency roadside kit. Did it come from the one that Tom gave her? If so, where is that roadside kit? Where did it end up at? We never saw it. We never see it ever.
No.
Okay. All right.
Jack, I thought that was in one of the side pouches in the back.
Well,
the little side compartments.
Well, the Toyota itself it comes with a toolkit. It does come with tools, but that particular lug wrench was not part of. It didn't come from Toyota. That came from an emergency roadside kit. Remember, it's been several months ago now, when Kent 3334 shared those photos in our Discord. It showed the roadside, and it was exactly the same lug wrench. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, it comes from Tom Peace for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to know.
So how do we know that one that was in the back compartment was something that came with the car and not what Tom gave her?
Well, they all vehicles come with a little toolkit, and depending on what you get. I mean, what car it is, they generally come with a few tools, a lug wrench, maybe a couple other little doodads. It just depends on the vehicle, but most vehicles come with their own lug wrench, little toolkit, and Toyota, the RAV4 did come with a few things. But that lug wrench that we see is not part of that toolkit.
Right.
So I don't know what all came in
The Bunsen bloody instrument.
Well, maybe they wiped it the hell off. Didn't do anything with it. So.
Yeah, the bloody instrument. It's really interesting stuff.
Well, that had to create a problem, for Harrington and those that were at the crime lab. What that problem, how that got resolved, we're not privy to.
They had somebody else's DNA. Yeah.
Oh, damn. And fingerprints. Can you imagine? Holy shit. Got to get rid of this thing.
I imagine. They will be in a deep shit. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's interesting that, Fassbender left that out of his official report that he made for that day. He left it out. He didn't talk about this damn thing, this bloody instrument. So that should tell everyone they did something. They did something. It's not explained.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right. Let's continue on. Listen to a little bit more.
The old cliche, everybody can take care of themselves.
Right.
Teresa, have them come outside and fill it out.
Could I I just want to confirm, your address of this photo studio is 1599 Western Avenue?
Yes.
Okay. And the name of the studio is Pierce Photography?
Yep, I'm Pierce.
Okay, and that's P-E-I-R?
No, P-E-A-R.
P-E-A-R-C-E. And it's Thomas, you said?
Yes. No, Tom.
You go by Tom?
Yeah.
And what's your middle initial, Tom? E as in Edward?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, very good.
Good guess, huh? And your date of birth?
10/5/48.
And when is the last time that you had contact with her?
Saturday.
Saturday, okay. Yeah, that's what Karen told me. And what, did you see her at the studio, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she had a couple shoots in the afternoon, and I had some in the morning, scheduled around each other.
Okay, so she had some appointments at work. And does she have an email address at the studio, or a computer?
Through her own webpage.
Okay, so that would be the same email that would be on her home computer?
Yep.
Okay. You have access to that as well.
Okay.
And you mentioned, did she just have the one cell phone that she uses mostly for business?
Yeah.
Okay, so I just want to make sure that there wasn't another phone out there floating around that I wasn't aware of.
No, not that I'm aware of.
Okay. I didn't know if she maybe had a separate phone for a business number or not.
Oh, no.
I'm going to pause it here. There was a lot of talk way back in the day that she did have a second phone. There's even talk, I've seen this here recent in the last few months, various people saying that she possibly had a second phone. We don't have evidence of that, right? But
yeah, but But how Tom Peace can so be sure that she don't have another phone, another email address, or stuff like that? He looks like really looks like to have a really good knowledge about that, and it makes nonsense because you can have like 10 different email address and nobody knows. So he's so affirmative. Did she have another address email? No. Did she have another call? No. Phone call? Phone number? No.
Yeah, he was pretty quick. He was pretty quick to answer to
Yeah,
that.
yeah, to answer. Yeah, to answer. He was really quick.
Yeah, I agree. But she dealt with. We talked about it a little bit yesterday. She had boudoir photos that she took, and I think those were developed outside of Pierce. They weren't developed there because she got that call from Dan at H&H, I think it was called, photography, where she would send the negatives, and he would do the developing and mail them back, right?
Yeah. The wrong negative she had, and she need to return. Yeah. I remember.
So there's that potential that she did have a separate. She kept that aspect of her business separate.
Yeah, it's not something unusual. A lot of people do that.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, guys, but I've got to say good night for now. I've got an early appointment in the morning, and it's nearly 1 o'clock already. So I'm going to have to jump away.
All righty, Alice.
Good night.
You have a good one. Thanks for coming.
No problem. I'll speak to you all soon. Bye, everyone in chat.
Sleep well. Sweet dreams.
Good night, my lovely Webampot.
All righty. All right. So let's continue on. We are we're 8.5 minutes in, so let's listen to a little bit more, and we'll pause again.
Okay. Yeah, I know I talked to her mom earlier. Pretty much showed the thing.
Did you contact Karen wondering where she was, or did Karen contact you?
Well, actually, earlier this afternoon, I just thought it was strange because Teresa's habit of coming in.
Mm-hmm. Whether how often?
Well, it depends. Like, if I know, if she knows she's not going to be in at all, like tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And last week, because we're closed on Mondays. And she'll do it either in the morning or do it up until 1, 2, or she does have appointment if orders came in to put them together and stuff like that. Well, Tuesday I didn't see her, and I didn't think much of it. Well, Wednesday morning she go on business group, and I belong to another business group, and it's from like 7:30 in the morning till 9. But she usually comes in. She's in a ladies group and I'm in a mixed group for breakfast. Sometimes she come in 11 o'clock and see if there's anything that came in, anything that well, she didn't show up. I thought, okay, she didn't have any appointments.
That would have been yesterday, did you?
Yeah. Okay. Well, to be in today, we know roughly when we send out an order, it takes about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks to get the orders back. And she either calls back coming in or doesn't have anything scheduled. And the order, if she's sick, been in a car accident, usually if she's sick or something of that nature, she would call me.
Right.
So I can't remember what time it was, maybe 1-ish or whatever. Not that minute, but within the next available time she'd have, she'd call us back. So I thought, okay, well, she's sick. Bothered me for a while. I called her mom, because mom was right down.
Right.
And then called Karen, and gee, by this morning, the car was gone, and, you know, like, normal, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so our mailbox is full. Oh. I know some of our friends, but I don't know their phone numbers, or some of our friends will come in and, you know, visit this afternoon. I was getting phone calls from some of our friends saying, gee, you've heard from Teresa.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, the network started looking.
Right.
And then I told Karen, you know, if you hear anything, just let me know, you know, so I don't have to worry. And I didn't hear anything.
Yeah. I hadn't called you. Karen had told me that she had spoken to you, and she had given me the information that you had last seen her on Saturday. But there's going to be further follow-up tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, that's
so, are you going to be at the office?
Oh, yeah.
Tomorrow? Okay. I'm sure sometime tomorrow that there'll be either a Calumet investigator or Green Bay investigator at the office to speak with you and take a look at it.
Here in Green Bay, I didn't speak to him, but the lieutenant on the window. And he took everything down. And, you know, if they need to go through her paperwork or whatever, like...
Right, which we'll be looking for everything that we can to follow up on. Do you know, you said you know some of her friends. Does a Michael Vanden Heuvel ring a bell?
Mom asked, and because I talked to her again tonight.
Okay.
As soon as I saw that on the news, I called Mom right away. The Mike does. The Vanden Heuvel is a pretty common name around here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna pause it here for a second. Remember the call that Jacobs made to that SBC, and he ran down that number, and the name was Vanden Heuvel.
Yes.
Just wanted to throw that.
Do you have noticed how calm he is? He's not looking somebody worried about the situation.
Nope.
He's really, really calm.
Well, yeah, pretty much as calm as Karen Halbach was.
Yes.
I don't know,
exactly.
Maybe he had already been through, his emotional roller coaster enough to remain calm. And here, it's after midnight. I don't know.
You know, the grieving process could last days,
or weeks, or months, years.
Yeah.
What's interesting to me is how much they allotted for Tom Pierce's phone call. Forever. He went on and on and on in a very calm manner, as you guys pointed out. But everybody else that called, and when they say, hey, I saw Teresa's, car, or that I saw that car on the, turnaround at 147, they were like, yeah, okay, bye.
Or they would transfer the call, and we don't get to hear the other end of it.
Yeah.
This one we do.
Like with Lewinsky. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, Sawinski is a different matter. That's a different thing, because he got transferred outside of the department onto a cell phone. So I understand that aspect, but an internal call, I'm going to say the internal part was recorded, even when it made the connection to the Weird or Captain Rush or whoever it went to. I think it was recorded and they removed it.
Okay, but the internal ones, how many times did people call and they were literally, to me, it seemed like they were rushed off of the line?
Dozens and dozens and dozens.
Yeah, right.
And this is like a bourbon at night, you know what I mean? And a cup of coffee or something. He went on and on and on. And I don't know the demeanor of this lady, what she usually sounds like, but to me, it sounded like she was painting her nails, and she went, Like that, I don't know. I hope she was taking notes.
Sounds like, yeah.
Yeah, we don't get to hear a lot from Leslie Lemieux, a little bit, but not a great deal. Yeah, I don't know either. Neverly, I'm not sure.
No, but
Yeah.
me, what shocked me the most, it's how calm he is, and he doesn't seem worry at all. And and for me, it's really weird because she's missing. He has take contact with her parents. Karen don't look like worried either. She's really calm too. So there is the family, the friend, they are really calm. They are really not worried about the situation who happened. For me, it means something. I don't know exactly what, but it means something. Because if it happens to me, I will call the police 2,000 times per day. Do you have news for my missing girl? Do you have news? Do you have something? Please contact me. If
Yeah.
somebody has any information, contact me. Please, 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 please.
Or I would just drive down there and stay. Literally, just
Yeah.
stay there until they said, if you don't leave, we're going to arrest you. Then I might go home. Yeah, I don't.
It's so strange.
I mean, she had disappeared once before, went on a little trip with her friend or whatever, and didn't tell anyone, and she was out of contact, and nobody knew where she was at. Allegedly, and this is in the call later. I don't remember what day, but it's coming up. Allegedly, Karen and the stepfather reamed her ass out, and she promised she would never do it again. So I don't know.
And tell me if I'm right or wrong, but Teresa is the children of Richard and Karen. Mike, Tom, and the two other sisters are the children of the stepfather. Is it right?
I don't remember that. I do think that Richard was her father, and I think he may have fathered one more child, and then the others are the brother after she married the brother. Is it Tim? Is that his name? Tim?
Yes, Tim and Mike Halbach. Yes.
Yeah, I think Tim or Mike and Teresa, one of the two brothers, Teresa, are Richards. I can't remember the exact lineage here.
Because it can change the game if it's her half sister. It's different to your proper sister. If it's your half sister, it can be different in the relation, in the day-to-day relation they have.
Well, depending on how they were raised, that's true. Because oftentimes, I mean, it depends. I mean, if they, I mean, some families absolutely. We just don't know. We don't know enough about the Halbachs to say, if that's.
No, that's the thing. We don't know anything about the Halbach.
No, not really.
That's the thing.
Not really.
And when you try to have information on the internet about this family, apart the fact that the grandfather was coming from Germany, we don't have anything on Teresa or Karen or Tom or Tim or Richard or Mike. We know he working for the Green Bay Packers, and Tim Halbach is working with a lawyer, or he's a lawyer now.
Oh yeah, he's a lawyer. He's a lawyer. I don't know if he's I don't know if he's a named partner, but he might be now. But back then, I think he was a relatively young lawyer at the time.
So that's mean too that they are rich people. They are not the same level of interest than the Avery are for the community. And it can change the game in the eyes of the population.
Sure. I think Jinx has done some. I think Jinx has done some family trees on the Halbachs, and they've been there for. I mean, they had been in that community for decades. I don't know how far back they immigrated there, but it goes back a little ways, at least for sure.
Jinx, if you have information about the family or anything, you can really send me the information, because I try to connect the dots in the family to see if there is no connection with the other people involved in this case, Pagel, everyone. So I try to connect the dots, but I don't have find a lot. And in Belgium, sometimes when you go on internet on American site, you are
blocked.
Yeah, blocked.
Sure.
So I have been blocked from a lot of websites when I was doing my research. It's frustrating.
I think that there was a familial, and I mean through family, relationship with Pagel, but I just can't remember. I don't think it was like a close relationship. It was through marriage. I think that's right. But anyway.
Yeah, I think there is a relation about a marriage with the Pagel family and the Halbach family, but it's but it's strange. It's a little community, but in the same times.
Well, it's a little Peyton Place, and I know you don't know what Peyton Place is. Peyton Place is a soap opera that used to come on here in the States, and it played for years, decades. And if you just kind of follow it, everyone was related to everyone. So that's why we call it a little Peyton Place. It's like it's crazy. It really is. So anyway, all right. We're almost 13 minutes.
In Belgium. Oh, sorry. I would just mention then in Belgium, a village at 7,000 people, and a big city at 16,000 people. So it's really different than in America. So I try to figure out the situation and put me in the shoes of somebody living in the Wisconsin.
Right. I mean, there are a lot of small little cities and towns, scattered throughout Wisconsin, throughout the United States, but there are definitely larger ones. And I get what you're saying, the differences in size of population of some of these. I think, a lot of places you call villages there, right? It's a village.
Yeah, village.
Yeah, there are some
village and city.
Yeah, there are some places in the States that are called villages, but usually it's a town or a city, that kind of thing. But I get what you're saying. Anyway, we're about 13 minutes in. Let's continue on a little bit more here.
Yeah, I've heard that name myself.
I know she knew those guys that race motorcycles.
Okay.
I'm not pointing a finger to them, but
right.
He just said, I guess it's never registered. She knew guys that raced motorcycles. I'll make a mental note of that. Don't know what that means, but okay.
Good friends with them.
And just were tracking down phone numbers and...
Yeah. Conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But not the last name.
Okay.
She would say like, oh yeah, good friend of my mom.
Mm-hmm. Just first name.
Yeah.
Do you know does she stay in Green Bay often, or?
Not really.
Okay.
If she would, she'd stay by one of her girlfriends.
Okay.
Say they were going to go out or something.
And you don't know of any boyfriends or?
No.
And she hadn't mentioned, except for those phone calls, nothing strange or out of the ordinary.
No.
recently?
Yeah, even her behavior, like she was.
Mm-hmm.
But I know she has friends in Milwaukee and Chicago.
Okay.
And she mentioned, she said, yeah, one of these weeks I'm going to go down and see her.
Mm-hmm.
She came up in a couple of days. Little things like that. She let me know that I'm going to be gone and we'll be in wherever she was going to go, so don't. Because I would book appointments for her and she would book appointments for me and so on and so forth.
Okay. Did she have any specific appointments today, or it was just that you hadn't seen her for several days?
I haven't seen her.
Okay. Okay. Tom, do you have the home phone number or cell phone that we could reach you at if we need to?
Oh, sure. Home phone is 920 434 3004.
3004.
Right. And the studio.
Okay.
We'll probably be there by 9 tomorrow.
Okay.
920 592
Okay.
9494.
And do you have a cell phone as well, or?
I don't use it.
Okay.
Basically, I use it in my car for emergencies.
Okay.
So I very seldom even have it on.
Okay.
Not a cell phone. But at 10 o'clock, one of the girls that works for me, she talks with that's when she'll be in. And she might be able to set something up too.
Okay. Very good. Is there anything else that I haven't asked you or that you can think of?
No, that's what I do.
Okay. And
the thing that, I'm sure they checked hospitals and stuff.
Yes.
Okay. They know about, and I don't think she got them fixed. One of these days she's got to get a brake job done.
Okay.
That's why I said about hospitals and she got in a car accident.
Yeah, those were contacted, but no luck there.
Okay. Yeah, that scares me, especially today.
Right.
Too much of this.
Well, if you need anything, the investigator that's going to be taking care of the investigation tomorrow anyway will be Investigator Mark Wiegert from our Sheriff's Department.
Mark Wiegert?
Wiegert, W-I-E-G-E-R-T. But you can just call this dispatch number and they'll transfer you to the right person. Investigator. And like I said, someone from our department or Green Bay will most likely be there tomorrow to take a walk around.
Yeah, no. I'll see if I can get there early and start calling her.
Her laptop?
Yeah.
We have that.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Okay.
Was that home? Was that abnormal, or did she have more than one?
No, she uses a little iPod too, but a lot of times she'll bring it in. That's where she does a lot of her book work and all that.
Okay.
So there should be, I'm sure you've had screened it already.
Yeah. Okay.
There should be a lot of client phone numbers on here. Yeah.
Okay.
Should be some shot photographs.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to call in and.
Oh, gosh. Been working for about 3-4 years now.
So you know her routine then.
Yeah, pretty much. Work like that, you get to know.
What's your home address, Tom?
1707 Woodbury Terrace.
And Woodbury,
One word, yeah. Sorry.
and B-E-R-R-Y?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Well, one of our investigators will be in touch with you tomorrow.
Okay.
Did you have any other questions?
No.
No?
No.
Okay. I will leave that for the investigator, and I'm sure he'll be in contact with you in the morning.
Okay.
All right.
All right, good.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. All right, bye-bye.
Good night.
Interesting. She's got an iPod that we've never seen, and she had brakes that needed to be repaired. She had bad brakes on the RAV. That could easily be checked easily. Doesn't take if you're any kind of a mechanic, you're going to know that by looking at the pads. So,
yeah,
interesting.
Exactly. Great point. Great point.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was speaking with Pete Dassey, and I have shared him the link of Full Play, the live chat we are doing now, and I have asked him if he want to join us, but he just woke up, so it's not for now, but he really appreciates what we do for Brendan and Steven, and he had visit Brendan today, and Brendan is okay. He's continue to believe to have a good mood. He continue to have a good mood and to believe that one day he will be released, and Steven too.
Good. Yeah. And I'm glad they moved him to medium security to give him more access to things.
It's really better. It's not the paradise, but
it's still jail, but it's better than being in a high security where they have virtually no privileges at all. It's very, very, very limited. So anyway,
and he mentioned me just right now. It's because my phone call to the FBI yesterday. Yes, I have contacted the FBI yesterday to reopen the investigation on Teresa Halbach death, and I have recorded and put on my channel. And he told me, first, thank you very much to doing that, my friend. And he said, okay, I really think the FBI is wrong. I think they should reopen and go after the real killers. And thank you very much to doing that, bro. But okay,
maybe one of the mods can go to your channel and grab the link and share it. That would be cool if they can. Cat or Darkside.
Somebody can. Yeah.
Yep. Hopefully they can. They're pretty good about that kind of thing. So.
But the thing when I was talking with the FBI agent yesterday, he told me, because you will see in the video that I made, they are not really opposite to the fact to reopen the investigation, but directly that I have mentioned making a murderer, he told me you need to have a lawyer for that. So take a lawyer, and the lawyer can contact us. So that means that a lawyer can do that. Request the FBI to reopen the investigation for the murder of Teresa Halbach.
Yeah, it's more than that. They would. I mean, I'm not to say that. Who did you talk to? Did you talk to someone at the DOJ or Calumet or who?
No, the FBI from Washington.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I have already called the White House, the CIA, the NSA. I'm not afraid of anything because I want justice, and don't do that for me.
Sure.
I do that for more justice and for our kids in the future to living in a better world. So it's not for me. I'm not afraid of anything because I have nothing to hide.
Right. I understand. Good for you. That's fantastic. For the FBI to get involved, other things have to be done. They have to be either invited by that county, or there has to be malfeasance found out through.
Yeah, I agree, Jack. But you see, the thing is, the job of Kathleen Zellner is to have Stephen out of jail by
That's right.
a new trial or a new stuff. Her job is not to find the real killer.
No, not at all.
So
no, that's not her job.
So I don't think, I don't know, I've never talked to Casey, but I don't think she had already requested the FBI to reopen the investigation. And I don't know if somebody else have already tried to do that. Because if you listen well, the video I have put on my channel, the guy is listened to me really nice until I mentioned making a murderer. He looks like a little bit anxious about that when I have mentioned the name Stephen Avery and Brendan Dassey. And he told me directly, you need to have a lawyer for that, and you need to request the lawyer to contact us.
Interesting.
So
that would be great. I mean, I think that would be fantastic if they were willing to, if they were willing and able to do that. I think there would be just a mountain of evidence. Go ahead.
I'm going to asking the same question to Jay Rebuting. I'm going to do that too, because
good.
If it's possible.
Yeah, I think it's a question that needs to be asked. I think that they should have been in charge of it to begin with. That's my personal feeling. Someone that's unconnected someone unconnected to the 85 case or these civil proceedings. It should have been an independent party. That's my feeling.
Yeah. Somebody who has nothing related with Stephen or Brendan, who just want to find the real killer of Teresa and ask the FBI to reopen the investigation.
Yep, I agree. I totally agree. And thank you. I see Cherie has made it home, and she's in the live chat, and she grabbed the link to your interview, the call that you had, and she's put it in the comments. So, thank you very much, Cherie. Yeah, I knew one of the mods would do it. They're really good about that kind of stuff. So, all right.
You rock.
She does. All right. Let's see where we're at here. Get back over here. Okay, 11:04. Okay, let me turn this back on. This next call, what did I write down here? Okay, this is at 8:24 a.m. This is the morning of the 4th. Wiegert calls MTSO and talks to Link about getting GPS coordinates. Link then talks to Jason Orth, I think it is. I'm almost positive it's Jason Orth. But they don't say the last name. So anyway, I'm going to play this call. And this was one of the few calls that we have from the 4th that we got from the new information, the new CDs, DVDs last year. We didn't have this prior, so this was new. So I'm going to play this here. It's about 3 minutes, so we'll probably just play the call and then talk about it. All right, here we go.
Lieutenant Lane speaking.
Hey, Jim Lane, Mark Wiegert from Calumet.
Hi, Mark. How you doing?
Not too bad. How are you this morning?
Oh, hanging in there.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm wondering if you could do us a favor.
Sure. What is it?
We're going to maybe do a flyover this afternoon over Avery's property and Zipper's property for shits and grins to see if we can maybe locate a vehicle back in.
Okay.
Do you think you could have somebody, or if you have the capability, to get us some GPS coordinates of both of those properties?
Sure.
That would be possible.
Sure, let me get a hold of somebody on patrol. We got it in the squad car, so.
Great, that would be great.
Then I'll give you a call back.
That would be fine.
All righty?
All right, thanks.
Yeah, bye.
Bye-bye.
Good morning, Sheriff's Department. This is Lori.
Hi, Lori, this is Jim. Who's the shift commander today?
I have Lieutenant Herman on.
Okay, could you have him call me at 4216?
4216. Sure.
Thanks.
Actually, Todd is on his break right now. He's at his 92. Do you want it right away? Or otherwise I could start his Dorth on as well.
Have Orth call me.
Okay, I will.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Lieutenant Link speaking.
Hey, Jim, Jason Mark.
Hey, Jason, how's it going today?
Good.
I need a favor.
What's that?
Can you guys do GPS coordinates of an area if I give you a couple of addresses?
Sure.
Okay, I need what I'm going to do is we had a missing, I don't know if you guys knew about it, we had a missing from Cal County last night.
Sure, you had that information.
And we want to they want to do a flyover on a couple pieces of property, but they need the GPS coordinates.
Okay. Yes, one in Stephen Avery.
10-4. Let me give you, where the hell is his address?
Well, I know where that is.
You know where that is, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want it right, like the base of his driveway, or?
Well, if you can pull in, and how long does it take to get him? A couple minutes?
About 5 seconds.
Yeah. Just pull in as far as you can, and like you're going to turn around or something, and just get the coordinates. The other one is George Zipperer. His address is 4433 County B,
Okay.
which is south of 310 and it's on the east side of the road. Just south of 310. Right across from the church there. Yeah, if you can get those two and then call me back with the coordinates and I'll call them.
Alrighty.
I appreciate it.
Yep.
Thanks, Jason. Bye.
Okay, nothing too nefarious. Weird calls Link. Link calls Orth. Orth calls him back. He's going to get the coordinates. And I think this next call, let me see here.
And
I have a
there
question
are,
before we move on.
Yep, sure. What is it, Neverland?
If they're taking coordinates for George Zipper's property, did they fly over there too? And do we have that, or have I forgotten?
They did fly over it. But I don't know how much of that is really shown in the flyover video. I don't remember if there is. It's very, very little. It's mostly the salvage yard.
Thank you.
and they are already talking about Stephen.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. So 8:09, this next call, 8:09 a.m., Link calls Jost, I said Jost, I think it's Orth. Link then calls Wiegert. So, yeah, let's listen to this. Let's see how long. Yeah, it's a 4-minute call. So I actually think there's a couple calls combined into this particular track. But this is, I got the right one. Yeah, it's right. Yeah, I think this is. Anyway, let's take a listen to their conversation.
Sheriff Department.
Yeah, Jason, this is Jim.
I have those numbers.
Okay.
For the County Trunk B address,
All right.
first I'll tell you how I believe it's supposed to be read, and then I'll give it to you how exactly it is on the printout in case you have more questions here. But it's north.
North.
440913.
440913.
Yeah, there should be a space between them. 44 space 09 space 13.
Okay.
And then west would be 087 space
39 space 61.
Okay.
But now the actual way it's printed on here, I'll give it to you fully in case you have questions.
Okay.
It says 44 degrees.
44 degrees.
Space 09.13 N.
N as in Nora?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then for the other one, it would be 087 degrees.
Okay.
Space 39.61 W. William.
Okay. That's for zippers, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then for Avery, I believe the way they read it would be 44 space 15 space 31 north.
Okay.
And then for west, it would be 087 space 41 space 40.
Okay.
And once again, I'll read how it is. It would be 44 degrees.
Okay.
15.31 and Nora.
15.31.
31 Nora.
Okay.
And then 087 degrees.
Okay.
41.40 W. William.
Okay. All right. Good.
Let me know if that works.
All right. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, this is Mark.
Hi, Mark. This is Jim Lake.
Hey, Jim.
I got those coordinates for you.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Okay, shoot.
Okay, for Avery's?
Yep.
Okay, there's two sets or two ways of reading it, so I'll give you both of them, okay?
Okay.
We got 44 space 15 space 31 N for north.
Okay.
And we've got 087 space 41 space 40 W for west.
Okay.
Now it's also interpreted on the screen, he said, as 44 degrees space 15.31 N north.
Okay.
And the other one is 087 degrees.
And this is for,
This is all Avery, right?
Okay. Okay, go ahead.
087 degrees space 41.40 W for west. That's all Avery. It's just two ways of interpreting the information.
Gotcha.
And he wasn't sure which one you guys wanted, so you got them both.
Okay.
Now zipperer,
Yep.
it's N as in north, 44 space 09 space 13, and W 087 space 39 space 61.
Okay.
And the other way on the screen, he said it comes up as 44 degrees space 09.13 N as in north.
Okay.
And it's 087 degrees space 39.61 W for west.
Okay, great.
Okie doke?
I appreciate it, Jim.
No problem, Mark.
Right, have a good
Bye.
day.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
All right. So there we go. He relayed the coordinates back. This is at, well, it's still pretty early, 10 after 9 in the morning. And we know they didn't go up until it was after 3. I don't remember the exact time, but it seemed like it was like 3:20 or 3:30, something like that.
And like I was mentioned yesterday, they sounds like in a rush. Really?
Well, yeah, but I think that personally, I think they should have went up. Well, I don't. Maybe that was as soon as they could get something scheduled. I don't know. From we know Curtis Drum locally took them up. I don't know. I just think they should have been sooner. They're looking for a missing person. They haven't found shit. They haven't found anything. So to me, you pull out. I mean, this is unusual behavior for this person. You pull out all the stops. So I don't know. I think they should have been quicker about it, but that's me.
But in your opinion, don't you think it's really weird that we have all this phone call for missing girl?
Well, considering, I only have the Rudy case to really compare to. I think that considering all the resources they put into this, yeah, I think it's, I mean, they didn't really do hardly shit for her because she, was on drugs and lower on the social scale, I guess you would call it. But for this case, it really ramped up to just crazy.
Because in my opinion, it seems like I was mentioning it yesterday, that then when they are talking about Teresa, they are talking about somebody really important for them.
Yeah.
And I will not again mention that she was maybe a DCI agent or a PI or a CI. I don't know. I can prove it, but I don't know. My gut told me that there is something more higher than we think in this case.
Yeah, there's been conversation and debate about whether she was some kind of a confidential informant because she traveled, in that region, and so she would have, she would be able to see certain things in her travels that a cop wouldn't be able to see. Yeah, there's been that conversation and debate. We don't have any evidence of that, but you never know because they protect their confidential informants. They're protected. Their names are basically go unpublished most of the time.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's really crazy. It looks like it's a double cover up. A cover up for the frame of Stephen and the cover up for Teresa's life and activities.
Well, confidential informants in certain situations, in many situations actually, that they really have to be protected. They're the source because, if they're depending on what they're doing, that they could get like really killed in a horrible way.
Yeah.
So I get that end of it, but at the same time, at this point, if that was actually true, if she actually was a CI, you would think that would come out somewhere along the line. Yeah. But this next call is at 9:37. This is basically 30 minutes after he just talked to him. Uyghur calls Link asking about Barb Yonda. I don't remember the exact contents of this. Let's listen to this. It's a little over a minute.
Lieutenant Link speaking.
And second time, second transfer, same number.
Okay.
When I hang up, it is Calumet County, Mark Uyghur.
Oh, Mark Uyghur. Okay.
All right.
Lieutenant Link speaking.
Hi, Jen, it's Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark.
I wonder if you guys could do us a couple favors.
What's that?
Do you think you could go back out to Avery's and do a good interview with him and see if there was anybody else at the house when she showed up besides him?
Okay.
And then we're looking for this Yonda, who apparently is his sister.
Okay.
If you could maybe try to track her down, it's a Barbara Yonda.
Okay.
That's the name he always uses when he calls Auto Trader, is the Yonda.
Okay. Yeah, I know he's got a sister that had some kind of a vehicle that they kind of both shared. I don't know if it's the same one or not.
Y'all catch that? Uyghur says that's the name Stephen always uses when he contacts Auto Trader. How the hell does he know that? I don't think that's true. I don't believe that.
No.
Does anybody know where the hell he's coming up with that? I don't think that's what Schuster told. And she's the boss over there. I don't think that's what she told anyone, but maybe I'm just misremembering. Yeah, see, Jinx even says that is a lie. Yeah, I agree. I don't believe that at all.
No, me neither.
All right, we got just a little bit more here. Let's finish.
Somebody could maybe track her down and see if she knows anything, if she
Okay. We'll see what we can do for you.
Great, thanks a lot.
All right.
All right, bye.
Yeah, I don't believe that shit for a second. All right. This next call, I included it. It's later in the evening. I've got it down as, I will probably see the time at 8:18 p.m. I think a reporter for CBS5 calls into dispatch. This is at MTSO, I think. Tells them that one of the last persons to see Teresa was Steve. Let's listen to that. Hold on. If I'm remembering, this sounds like a little gossip thing going on. Yeah, there you go. At 2018, that's correct. So at 8:18 that night. I think this is probably one of the last calls. Well, there may be another one. We'll see. All right, let's listen to this one.
Sheriff's Department, Michelle speaking.
Hi, Michelle. It's Lisa, CBS 5. How are you?
Just fine, and how about you?
Good. I'm just checking in. Anything interesting tonight?
No, nothing here. But we didn't get to watch the news because we didn't have a TV anymore. What's the deal on that girl from Calumet County?
The, Teresa, Halbach, I think her name is.
The one that, the missing lady?
Yeah. She's still missing.
Mm-hmm.
What was very strange was that, one of the last people that she's known to have seen was Steve Avery.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, where did they get that from?
That I don't know. I don't know how that originated, but I think it came from the auto trader, because those were her assignments.
Oh, okay.
And she took photographs of the cars that people wanted to sell, and
Okay.
auto trader. He was one of them. So that's, and he said she was there for about 5 minutes, came to the picture and left. And when cops came over, the officers came over and checked out the house, and nothing there. So
Okay.
they're still looking for her. And she's, friends and family that are out spreading, whatever kind of flyers they can with her picture on it.
Oh, yeah.
And
That's good. I'm hoping to catch the 10 o'clock news. I didn't get to...
you'll have to watch it.
Yeah.
So far, unfortunately, nothing yet.
Okay.
We haven't found her car, nothing.
No.
So.
All right. Well,
Right.
thank you.
Well, thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
So it appears this story originated out of Auto Trader. And then she added, first, she calls anything going on tonight. No, nothing here. It's like, and they're in the middle of this missing person. Of course there's shit going on. It's like I don't know where that came from. I really don't. And then, of course.
Why?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
And why everybody is suspicious about Steven? This guy was wrongfully convicted for a crime he didn't commit. So what's wrong with him? Why to be suspicious about him? He has done nothing wrong.
Well, if the narrative behind the scene.
I don't understand the thought about Steven. Why he's suspicious on this case? He was just a guy who was wrongfully convicted for a crime he didn't commit. That means he's a killer? No, it makes no nonsense.
Well, but if things are going on behind the scenes, and these ideas, and
I know,
so forth are getting planted,
Yeah, I know. If we admit that it was a complete setup, but that means there is a lot of people involved in that, and if there is a lot of people involved in that, again, that means too that Teresa was somebody of interest.
It's
somebody
possible.
really important.
It's possible. I mean, outside of the family, you know, being kind of well-to-do and well-spoken for in the community, it's possible. I don't know. But we do have
No,
another.
I don't say it's the truth, but it's just a thought. But because when you listen, there's phone calls when people mention Stephen Avery, it's all the time. Stephen Avery. Oh yeah, I see.
Well, sure.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I mean, he'd already been drugged through the mud so much, you know, in the past, and then of course a couple of years prior to this, he'd been released, you know, being wrongly convicted. So
yeah, he was the victim of the system. So
that's right.
why is a person of interest in a missing girl case?
Well, I think probably locally, I think the local people probably were on his side. That's what I think, because you remember there's some interviews that were captured
at the
by.
beginning, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
At the big, it changed after Brendan
was coerced. That's right.
Yeah,
it did. It did change. Thanks to Ken Grass.
It did change because they need to have an horrible story to tell because they don't know anything about what happened to Teresa.
That's right.
They don't know anything.
That's exactly right.
And Kratz admit it before Stephen Drizin and Lorena Ryder. Stephen Drizin has asked Kratz before the interview on March 1st of Brendan Dassey, you don't know and you don't have any idea of what happened to Teresa. And he said, correct.
Yeah.
So he needs to have this horrible story for the public and the media.
Well, I mean, to me.
Of course they do. Yeah, of course they do. Because I'm sorry, Jack. To me,
no.
you know,
Go ahead.
we have this poster child for the Innocence Project. Look what happened to him, poor Stephen. And he's becoming a celebrity, getting all kinds of money, shaking hands with the what do you call it? The influential people in Wisconsin. Exactly. Yet half of that area pretty much hates the Averys, not just Stephen, but Averys. And don't forget how rumors start. You know what I mean? In a small community and whatever. And who are they going to side with? Teresa or Stephen Avery? I remember that phone call when Pago was all giddy. I'm going to say it again, like a 12-year-old girl. When he said everything paid off and he was like, woo, everything paid off. It was such a sigh of relief. Perhaps I never understood what he was talking about, like what paid off and stuff. Maybe the immense resources that they were poor, because this is all money that's coming out of their county, right? Look how many people worked on this case. We're getting the airplanes and helicopters and DCI and FBI. We're like involving everybody and their mother, right? Or neighbor, should I say? You know, David Strauss. So maybe that's what he was talking, that it paid off because it was an opportunity. Once they heard that Teresa was at Stephen Avery's, they were started to think like, because it's not like she only had an appointment with Stephen that day. I would understand that somehow. I wouldn't like it, but I would understand. But he was one of three. So that's why they were focusing on Stephen Avery. And I'm sure that some people were jealous and hating him that he was going to get all that kind of money. And he's, nobody from a junkyard, a troublemaker from a junkyard. And as I said, especially in small community, they weren't viewed as hardworking people. And they were, actually.
Yeah, they were.
They were organized on that salvage yard. They had like a legitimate business going on. They had structure, and we knew who was in charge and what hours they were working, and and all of that. So they didn't know about that. They just thought that they were a bunch of losers, uneducated losers, which is just a myth that was created who knows when, and they will never be good enough to be accepted in the Catholic community, God-fearing community, right?
Look down upon, shun.
Totally shunned. So when this happened with Stephen, I'm sure they were like, Stephen, I'm just speculating, Stephen, yeah, here goes your celebrity. Remember what Wendy Bolden said on that first walk through Stephen's house?
Yep.
I don't think you're gonna I don't think he's gonna be making this one.
Oh,
Remember?
that luncheon, yeah.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, she said that. So that tells you how people were like, what kind of attitude they had about the Averys and Stephen in particular, who was gonna get, 10% of $36 million. But people don't want to rationalize that way. They're gonna say, oh, he's gonna get $36 million. No, he's gonna get probably 10%.
And the way she acted lends itself to how they acted with each other when they were not being recorded.
Yeah. So that's why I think that, all eyes were on Stephen Avery, because it happened that she was there on the 31st, but that was one of 3 stops. Did she make to Stephen, what's his name? Schmidt,
no.
Schmidt, no, she didn't. So they were tossing between Zipper and Avery, and then I'm sure, that people who are paid a lot of money, not to mention any names, started to concord the plan to set him up.
And don't forget then the other salvage yard in the area was running by
the Herman brothers.
Sheriff, yeah.
Cleveland Auto. There you go.
And I quote Stephen's father: "They destroy our family, they destroy our business, they destroy everything we have."
And they did.
Yeah.
Drove wedges between family members.
Yeah.
That was
they
intentional.
Took their business away, because who's gonna get their car towed from a murderer? Come on.
That's right.
No one.
And your phone call that you mentioned about Poggle being giddy, we'll get to that. Don't you worry. It's coming. It might take me a few open mics to get to it, but I promise you, we will be playing that one.
Okay. Thanks.
Yep. So this next phone call, this is, let me look at my notes. Okay. This is at 9:10 p.m. on the 4th. Is one of there's 2 here. Okay. This is where Wiegert calls MTO. He talks to Sing Love. I can't remember the content of this, but I know I'll have to play a second one after this because they have to connect. It didn't work the first time. So let's listen to these. And they're not, I don't think they're very long at all.
San Antonio Sheriff's Department, Carrie speaking.
Hi, Carrie. Who's your shift commander right now?
Sergeant Singler.
Wow, Scotty. Could you give me him, please? This investigator Weaver from County Matter.
Sure, hold on, please.
Thanks. Yeah. Oh, boy. What do you have to say?
Hold on, I'll transfer you back there. I'm sorry. Hi, is Scott in there?
Yep. Sure, Scott.
Hi, Scott. When I hang up, it's investigator Uyghur from Calumet County.
It ends there. I think it picks back up on this next call. Just a second.
Breaking room.
Hi, is Scott in there?
Yep. Sure, Scott.
Hi, Scott. When I hang up, it's investigator Uyghur from Calumet County.
Sure, Scott. Can I help you?
Hey, is it Scott?
Yeah.
Scott Mark Uyghur from Calumet.
How you doing, man?
How you doing?
Excellent.
Good. Hey, I want to give you guys a heads up. You familiar with our missing persons complaint a little bit? No?
Okay, run it by me again.
Are you familiar with that missing persons complaint from our county?
No.
Okay, I'll give you a thumbnail sketch. We got a girl, Teresa, that's missing from our county. She was last seen over in York County on Monday.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we've been working on this for a couple of days with some of your detectives and shit. She hasn't been heard from since Monday.
Hey, I'll tell you what, I come off of my days off and all this shit happens, huh?
Nobody tells you anything, huh?
No, this is the first I'm hearing about it. What's the girl's first name?
Teresa Halbach. She was a freelance photographer, and she was going and she was by a George Zipper, which was Highway B, I guess, which is equally as.
Oh, good.
So they're going to be doing a search in that area now. It's not sanctioned by us. They called us to let us know. We said,
okay.
Just I'll let your tomorrow.
I will, man.
Okay. Any questions? Just give me a call.
All right, bud.
All right. Thanks.
See ya.
Bye.
Really strange that Singlab hadn't heard anything. I know he said he'd been off a day or two, whatever, but no one told him about this. It's really strange to me. Really strange.
Yes, it is. But what is not strange in this case? Tell me one thing who is not strange in this case.
That's true, Jerome. Yeah. Okay, this last call for the 4th, everybody's going to recognize right away. And this lends itself to all kinds of just weird shit. With Deb Strauss calling into Calumet County at 9:27 on the night of the 4th, inserting herself into the investigation. And just to preface this, these special agents, as I understand it, they are assigned to go to a case. They don't just go around and volunteer to jump in the water with whoever, which is exactly what she did. So it makes you wonder, how did this originate? She just driving around and said, I think I'm going to get involved in this case over here in Calumet. Bullshit. I don't believe it. I don't.
No.
So anyway, this is about a minute and a half call. So let's listen to Deb and what she has to say.
Calumet County Sheriff's Department.
Yes, my name is Deb Strauss. I'm a special agent with the Division of Criminal Investigations.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason I'm calling is I've done some past investigations on Stephen Avery.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm watching the news and I'm seeing his name come up.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering if there's anything I can offer to help you guys.
How do you spell your last name, Deb?
It's S as in Sam, Trauss.
And
I'm a special agent with DCI out of our Appleton office. And the other thing, and I don't even know if this is within my realm of authority to even offer, but I'm not a big fan of Steve Avery. If there's even something technical assist that our agency has that would benefit you guys.
Well, right now, everybody is gone.
Okay.
I can put you through to Investigator Wiegert's phone. He will be coming in tomorrow. If you want to leave your name and where you're from and your phone number,
okay,
and a short message, then if he needs you, he could call you back tomorrow.
That sounds fine.
Okay.
I just need to, in good conscience, at least pick up the phone and make the call.
Okay, just
right.
1 second.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we don't really get to hear the end of that call, but nonetheless, if I can just offer this, I'm not a big fan of Stephen Avery. So
for me, it's a big red flag because her job in the lawsuit was to work and find out what was the wrongdoing of Manitowoc in the case of
she knew. She knew. She damn well knew.
Yeah. And the thing is, why she contact directly the police by phone? Because she knows slang, she knows everybody. She's deposing in the same lawsuit, the pre-lawsuit. She's deposing with them, so she must talk to them. She must talk to Wiegert, to not to Wiegert, but to Lang, to Colborne, to the person at the time. So why she don't call Lang, for example, and say, "Hey, if I can help, tell me," and because I'm not a fan of Avery, but why she need to call the police to be recorded? There is a purpose under this phone call.
Well,
in my opinion,
and for me, because she was involved as an agent in the civil aspect, she shouldn't have been allowed within 100 miles of this case because she was deposed.
Yeah, she was deposed. Yeah, others, like Lang and Colborne, who
that's right.
Find the key, everything, and they were not supposed to be there. And Debbie Strauss want to give his help to Manitowoc and Calumet because she's not a fan of Stephen Avery, but she is not in. She's not on how can I say that position to say stuff like that, because she was working to the States to see and investigate the wrongdoing of Manitowoc at the time of the first crime, in 1985.
Yep, the 85 case, absolutely.
So why she is not a fan of Stephen Avery? It was not her job, and this is this call is on the 4th, on the 3rd.
No, this call's on the 4th, 9:30 at night, basically.
On the 4th.
Yeah, on the 4th. That's right.
So just one day before they find the RAV.
Yep. I don't know.
For me, there is a big red flag there.
What's it to me? To me too, a huge one. Neverly. I Neverly must have stepped away. Yeah, it's a gigantic red flag for me, and the fact that she.
For me too.
I mean,
because she's a DCI agent, right?
Well, it shows a huge unprofessionalism in how she thinks about an investigation. I don't like this guy. I don't give a shit who he is. It doesn't matter. Like or dislike.
No, it doesn't matter. No.
Like or dislike should not enter into the equation. Only evidence and proof.
Yeah, exactly. She needs to act as a professional, and she don't act as a professional.
That's right. Oh, Neverly's back.
No, she actually, yeah. So she actually made a purposeful decision to pick up the phone, so it was intentional, right?
That's right.
Yeah. And then we know how everything went with Colborne and Lang, that they were involved in the prior shindig, and they knew, they were told to be there just of some help. We know that it didn't pan out, but anyways, for the conflict of interest. So she's just calling up to say, hey, I don't like this guy, but if you can use me, I'll be glad to help. So show me there's no bias there when she starts her phone call like that, offering help in that manner.
There is bias. Absolutely.
Of course. Of course there's bias.
Yeah, I think
There's so much red flag.
Well, I think she knew that the lawsuit, but this time was really going terrible for the state. It was going, and the county. It was going bad.
Yeah, she must know. She worked for the state.
That's right.
I can't believe that she said that on the phone, actually, knowing that everything is recorded.
Absolutely. It is shocking.
Yeah. And
because what's going to happen to her? Nothing.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
For example, I work on the GFK case, and you cannot imagine the missing files. Then we don't have access, or the files we are sealed from that case, and it's unimaginable that you have in America the Freedom of Information Act that we don't have here in Belgium, but you have that, and in the same time they have the power to hide a lot of things.
Well, yeah, they've built exceptions around much of the the Freedom of Information Act. Each state has their. I mean, that originated as a federal thing, and then it filtered down through the states. But they add all of these exceptions to the your right to have something, and some of it I can understand. What I don't understand is things that clearly should be released without question. Then you still run into problems, and I personally have experienced this numerous times. There've been a lot of car wrecks in the area and so forth.
Yeah, because material is material, but human are more important than everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I apologize for that, but that's completely out of my control. I was talking along, and I was getting ready.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
And then bam, I was like, wait, what? Nobody's here. What the hell happened?
No, don't worry. We were talking together about the fact that you are born in Serbia, and you are moving to California, and I have me also. Yeah. Don't worry, Jax. It happens. Yeah. It's life.
I'm double checking here. Hold on just a second. Double check something. Okay, I can't. I've got my iPad on, but I can't hear us broadcasting.
You can now.
Yeah, I can hear it. I can hear it now. Okay. So yeah, I was actually going to fix and play a call. The first call from November 5th, but it's 9:08. We've been at it about 3 hours, so maybe this is a good time to wrap up, and we can. Next time we do these, we'll start on the 5th. Actually, this is as we know, a lot of interesting things that happen on the 5th. Actually, the case blows up on the 5th.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It was really an important day.
Let's see.
So thank you for your patience and understanding, chat.
Absolutely.
But we can maybe, I don't know, Jax, it's your show, but we can maybe go back live to say that you have some issues and we will continue to dispute the case another day. Like this, people know what happened. I don't know, it's your show, you do what you want.
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know, we'll pick a night that, we can go on for a couple hours and get through some more of these, because there's so many interesting calls that, to get through. Literally, there's so many calls that I've not included. I've just tried to pick out some of the more interesting ones. And as we get forward now into the 5th, it's really going to get clumped up with a lot of calls between Manitowoc and Calumet. And
Yeah.
And,
but personally, if you want to continue today, I'm agree to stay. It's 3 a.m. here, but I'm still passionate and ready to talk.
Well, if you guys want to get through a couple more calls, I'm all for it. It's fine with me.
Okay. I'm in.
I hear you.
Sure.
And I'm getting some lag. Okay, it looks like it's passed. Or it's passing. I just want to make sure that we're broadcasting properly. So, yeah, it looks like we are. Okay. All right. So this next call, make sure I've got the proper link. This is a tip. It comes in at 7:18 to Manitowoc. It's about the wreck, and it's about not quite a 2-minute call. So let's give it a go.
Good morning, Manitowoc County Sheriff's Department. Katie speaking.
Yes, good morning. I was watching that news event about that missing lady, and Monday I was passed by a RAV4 truck on the highway. I don't remember if it was green or blue though, and so if that person had left Avery's before 9 o'clock and would have been back on I-40.
Let me give you to my lieutenant.
Okay.
Hold on. Hold on.
Hello.
Hi, Todd. When I hang up, it's a guy that wants to report that he was passed by a RAV vehicle that day that Halbach disappeared. So you can ask the questions, because I'm not sure.
You have the security that the license plate.
I don't think he knows the license plate. He said it's a 99 dark green Toyota RAV4, plate of Sam William Henry 582. So when I hang up, he's there.
Thank you.
So clearly she called an outbound number, and we don't get to hear the other end of it. It's like the single I would call. So I thought that was an interesting. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's really, really interesting. And did you notice the difference between this call and the Tom Peace phone call? Tom Peace talked for 2 hours with the lady on the phone, and he, yes, I have maybe see a RAV4. Okay,
I give you to somebody else.
I transfer you to somebody else. Yeah. No, it's not true at all. No, not at all.
You're going to love this next call. Let me get it loaded here. We were actually pretty blown away. This is a little over 4-minute call. And this is where Remaker calls, he talks to Tom Herman. And they talk about a lot of shit, but they really shit talk Singlab. It's hilarious almost. And a really interesting call. This is the morning of the 5th. Again, a couple hours before the rat was found. And this is a Remaker talking to Tom Herman. So let's give it a listen.
Hello, Todd Remaker.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Hey, man, just who I was looking for.
Uh-oh. Did you get any pass on from Singlab last night?
He said he told you everything he knew. He's got one little pink note on the side of the beat sheet. I don't know what that was.
Oh, okay.
In the insurance commander's office?
Yeah.
And his scribbling on there.
Okay.
But I had a guy call me this morning.
Okay.
He said he thought it was Monday. He was driving towards the pier and he saw a RAV4, he thinks. It had that Toyota symbol on the back. It was either green or blue.
Okay.
Nobody, he doesn't know who was driving it or what or where it was on the interstate, but he thought it was about 8:45. Said, I think it was Monday.
8:45 a.m.?
Yeah. That would have been too early, huh?
So apparently Herman either talked to that guy that just called or he talked to somebody that talked to him. One of the two. If that's the result of that call. Now, we don't get to hear it, obviously, but this is the at least some aspect of what he told them.
And again, like the phone call prior, he mentioned he don't know if the car is blue or green.
Yeah.
Like the person just before.
That's right.
It was a RAV4, blue or green, I don't know. You in Wisconsin, you cannot make the difference between blue and green. You are Daltonian.
I guess. Here we go.
That would have been too early, huh?
Well, yeah, I'd like to know where she was after that, like
He said this was
8:45
going
p.m.
northbound on the interstate.
Okay.
He gave me a phone number, 682-2976.
Okay. Green or blue, you said?
Yeah, he wasn't sure. He remembered, after seeing the news and stuff, that started ringing bells, but obviously he said I didn't get a registration plate or really take notice who was driving, but I remember the symbol on the back, that, the circle with the Toyota symbol, he said.
Okay.
So,
all right, yeah, Singlab calls me at home at about 12:30. Well, I don't know what to do. What the fuck are you... He does that all the time.
Take the notes.
Yeah.
I mean, if the worst case scenario, just take the notes and follow up on it.
Well, if we're getting calls, about this and that, I don't know what go out, see if the car's there. I mean, granted, you don't have to make contact.
Yeah.
But make a frickin' decision, you idiot. Does that all the time.
Oh, you're his neighbor. You're his #1 contact there.
Negative. He said he tried everybody else and nobody's answering their phone.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just curious with the aircraft up, did they check roadways and stuff too, or?
Yeah, I haven't heard. Yesterday morning we were supposed to get the GPS coordinates for Avery's place and then Zipper's place.
Yeah, I think Ort gave him the link.
Yeah, and then, so I didn't know for sure if they were going to go up and do it. I watched,
you guys weren't going to go with them.
No, I watched the news last night and I heard that they were going to go up and check
I
it.
don't believe they had old Stevie on there.
Yeah. He was really cooperative. I went out there with Link and we searched his house, and he was pretty decent. I don't think he's got anything to do with it. That's my gut feeling. That other guy, that Zipper, boy, he's a shady character.
Well, even her roommate didn't look.
No, I watched him on TV on the news.
Yeah.
Boy, he didn't look up or nothing. He was just kind of.
No, that's what I kind of got. He kind of looked a little.
Yeah.
A little different.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I'm going to pause it right here and just, a lot of information was just passed on. So Remiker went out with a link to Avery's. They did a walkthrough. He doesn't believe he had shit to do with it. His gut feeling. And then, and then they start talking about Scott Bladorn, and he said, "Yeah, I didn't look up at all. Did you see that interview?" That is a tell. I mean, Neverly has talked, I think, quite a bit about that. It being a tell, him not looking up.
Oh yeah, avoiding eye contact, whatever, you know what I mean? Where look at Steven, what he did. I'm sorry, but it's true. Steven was giving an interview, completely talking about everything. He let Colburn in his house without a warrant. I mean,
yes, exactly.
Say no more.
Yeah, go look at whatever you want to look at. You're not going to find anything. There's nothing in there.
And he said nothing of evidentiary value, whatever he said. He didn't say that. He said nothing seemed suspicious.
Exactly. And I don't think my gut feeling is he didn't have anything to do with it. Go ahead, Jerome.
I remember, I don't remember when it was, but someday, somebody asked me why they don't have planned the evidence like the key on the third or on the fourth was when Colburn was at Stevens Trail. And I say, yeah, it's a good question, but I imagine that the plan was not to find the key first. The plan was to find the car.
Well, the thing about the key that a lot of people, especially the Gilter side, they want to ignore is that bookcase had already been emptied and searched prior to the Colburn-Kacharsky link incident. That bookcase had already been searched.
Yeah.
So,
and the key magically appears like this. Come on.
Yep.
No
That's
way.
right. No way.
No way.
All right. Let's finish this call up. We've got we've got less than a minute, so let's finish it. I'll back it up about.
he kind of looked a little
Yeah.
well different.
Yeah.
But who knows? I hope something turns up.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. All right, so there was nothing that he got that needed to be followed up on, or?
Not that he told me. He said, I gave everything to Dave. He said that he'd take care of it. That's no kidding.
Okay.
Yeah, he said, I gave everything I had to Dave.
He called?
He said after that, he said nothing else really came in.
Okay.
So he said nothing I have to worry about.
All right. Okay.
All right?
Good enough.
Talk to you later.
If you need me, give me a call.
All right.
Bye.
Catch you.
Really interesting call. That was when we heard it last year, it was an eye opener. It was for me. Remiker was a matter of fact. He was there. He did the walkthrough. Didn't see shit. Didn't see anything. I don't think he's involved. That's my gut feel.
Yeah. He said nothing interesting.
Yep.
And
go ahead.
You believe the prosecution, then Teresa was burned behind Steven Strader. We are on the third when Colburn and Remiker go to Stevens, right?
No, it was the fourth.
The fourth, okay. But even the fourth. When you burn a body, a human body, it smells like hell.
Yep.
And you must have a lot of ashes all around the place.
Well, it would have lingered too, Jerome. That smell would have lingered for days.
Oh yeah. The smell doesn't disappear like that. And in plus, they have a lot, after they have a lot of dog for the research, and the dog was not interesting in the fire pit at all. So the claim that Kratz made and at the trial, it's coming from his imagination, like
Yeah.
like it's the same for Brendan. For Brendan, they need to manipulate him to have an horrible story who fits with their narrative, because they don't know shit.
Nothing.
But if they don't know shit and they really investigate, what does it mean? Really? What does it mean? If they've made a proper investigation and they've find nothing and put the blame on Steve because it was the ID. But let's say they have made a proper investigation until the 4th, okay? And after the change of plan, on the morning on the 5th, but let's say they've made a proper investigation before. Why they don't find anything about Teresa?
Because they buried it. They kept it. They buried anything they found that would have been helpful for Avery. That's why this phone call here, this last one, was so shocking, because Remaker, he's part of this investigation, at least up to this point, because Calumet hasn't been officially named as the lead investigative body, but it's going to happen later today, because we're in the 5th. So Manitowoc is also a part of this whole process. And Remaker says, I don't think he had anything to do with it. That's my gut feeling.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, if there had been a lot of cleaning that had went on in that trailer, surely he would have said, it smelled pretty strong of bleach and so forth. And I didn't, that was weird. So, but he didn't say that at all.
No, never.
So, all right, this next call, we'll do, let's see what I've got here.
Jack?
Yeah.
Don't kill me, but somehow I missed the last call. You don't have to play it again, but please tell me what's it all about, because everybody's raving about it in the chat.
Well, it's Remaker calls Lieutenant Tom Herman, and they're having a discussion, and basically Remaker asked Herman if he got any information from Singleg, because Singleg worked the night shift. And he's like, well, other than this one thing. Well, apparently Singlove had called Remaker like at midnight and woke his ass up about something that he wanted answered. And Remaker's like, fuck, just make a fucking decision. He really shit talked him pretty bad, because he said he calls me all the time with this kind of crap. So he was pretty irritated. He was clearly irritated with Singlove. And then they talked about Remaker went out with the link to Avery's, and they did a walkthrough. Avery let him walk through, and he said, we didn't see anything. My gut feeling is he's not involved. That's my gut feeling.
Right. Yeah.
And then the conversation switched over to this interview that Scott Bladorn did. And
I heard that, and he said he looked down. He didn't even look up.
That's right. And so that's a red flag to law enforcement. I think it is to anyone that's an adult,
Oh yeah.
And then after that, what happened after that?
I think that's pretty much the gist of it. And then there was a little bit of conversation, but that was it's a great call. It was really informative.
Yeah. It's ready.
Actually, I think me or yours put this in the key calls playlist. I'm sure one of us did, because it is a really at this point in time, the 4th. It's a really important call because, again, if they walked through and didn't smell anything, bleach and all that stuff, or this massive cleanup job that allegedly happened, they would have smelled it. There's no doubt. And like Jerome said, if a body had been burned in that pit, they would have smelled it because that shit, it reeks.
Yeah, and all the ashes all around.
Yeah.
And the tire. Yeah.
And the tires and the black soot would have been everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. And the smell is really important.
It is, because you can't, we can't capture that even in video. We can never capture what an area smells like. That's also lost in this part of the digital communication. We don't have smell-o-vision yet. Maybe someday.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's a really good call. It's not that less like a 4-minute call.
Yep.
You should listen to it. It's really good.
I will. Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay, I've got a few more that I selected leading up to the Pam Sturm call. So let's do one more, and then we'll call it a night. This is Remaker calls Wiegert, and they discuss the timeline. This is another really interesting call, and it's about 7 minutes long. So we'll probably pause at a time or two, but let's get started on it.
County Sheriff's Office.
Morning, this is Detective Remaker from Manitowoc County.
Good morning.
Is Wiegert or Dietering in at all this morning?
I think Wiegert's in his office.
Okay, thank you.
Go ahead.
Niles.
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, I'm just doing fucking great.
Hanging in there?
Oh, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
at the office.
You working all day or what?
I don't know yet. We got a bunch of kind of tips maybe called in and stuff. People who saw her allegedly. Track some of those down, get some reports done.
Mm-hmm. Did you do a flyover at all?
Before we get to the flyover part, he said that they had a bunch of tips call in of her being, sightings, and they got to run those down. Right? A lot of these calls, we hear this stuff as we go along. We went along through the last couple of years and so forth. And, a lot of the stuff you don't really pick up on the minute details. And I've caught several and I know Jinx has made comment in the live chat about certain things that I've also picked up on that I've just completely missed. This is another one.
Yeah, but the devil is in the details.
Absolutely. That's right. So they had a bunch of tips that come in that he's going to have to run down. So that's interesting because, we get to hear the front end of a lot of these. What are these damn tips,
Yeah, what he's talking about. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Anyway, I thought I would just pause.
The morning on the 5th, or it was...
Yes, this is the morning of the 5th. That's right. This is at 9:03 a.m. This is 9:03 a.m. Like I said, well, this is about an hour and a half or so before the rabbit's found. So they're just going along doing their thing.
Really interesting. Really interesting.
Yep. So all right, let's move on.
Yeah, they did one yesterday. I didn't know. I was up in Green Bay.
Okay.
The boss and our new chick went.
Okay. Have you established some timeline as to where you think she went first or last, or direction of travel, or?
Well, here's what we think.
Okay.
We're trying to track down a fax number that she sent early Monday, and we just did that this morning. It appears that it came from her apartment. It's a Green Bay number, but the fax number is attached to her computer and fax machine.
Okay.
We would get a test fax this morning, and that's what came back. from her fax machine at her apartment.
So that tells you right there that the number that's programmed into that fax machine is her old number, which was a Green Bay number. And that, we didn't understand that. Apparently they didn't either way back.
Oh, they have access to fax machine.
That's right. So she had moved, back home, and she's living there in the house. But the fax machine, she hadn't went in and reprogrammed it with the correct new number. She still and so whatever's programmed into the old fax machine is the number that it spits out, which was her old address in Green Bay. So that was if you remember, Jacobs called and got that SBC security and got the address where that old number originated, and it's irrelevant because she wasn't there; she was at home. So that had to be ran down. So I think they finally accepted the fact when they did that test fax this morning, because they had just done it like an hour prior or something like that, or 30 minutes, whatever, and it came back to, it was her fax there at home where she's at now. It didn't come from Green Bay at all. That's not true. It's just that was her old number. So anyway, I wanted to clarify that.
This phone call took place in the same times that Ryan and Scott planned the research for the result.
Well, Pam Sturm, at this point in time, I don't remember the exact time, but I think she said they got there late, like 8 something. So it's in this time frame. They're close.
Yeah, that's close. It's pretty close.
Absolutely. All right, let's move on.
In
St. John, Gilbert.
Okay.
She was with.
And that's at what time?
That's at 12:13 in the morning on Monday morning. Okay. We couldn't figure out where that fucking fit in the puzzle here because we know she was seen later that afternoon.
Okay. So the fax is before she goes to Avery's and Zippers. Right. Okay, all right.
So that next day, or that day, she goes, her first appointment is in New Holstein.
Okay.
She's about 1:30 in the afternoon. She leaves New Holstein. From there, we believe she goes to Avery's.
Okay.
Time, we're not sure.
Avery says he thinks it's between 2 and 2:30.
Okay. From there, we believe that she goes to Zippers.
Okay.
Zippers apparently are not really good on time or
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the last anybody has seen her. She had a cell phone call. I believe at there was a cell phone call at 2:24, which appears that she had answered. There's one at 2:27, which is incoming. We got it or not, but we believe it went to her voicemail. She's talking to the person down at Auto Magazine. I think that was me. I left her a message. I just don't know what time it was.
Okay.
So it was got coming in from this.
What time did Dietering get off the caller ID at Zipper's place that she called? Do you remember what time that was?
No, but you can hold on. I've got some phone records I can take a look at. Hold on for a second.
Okay.
All right, I'm back.
All right.
There's a phone call placed to Zippers at 2:12 p.m. on Monday.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that's the one she probably left a voicemail there.
Probably right before she gets there.
Right.
Okay.
And the last call, like I said, is 2:27 p.m. That's the incoming one, which we believe just went to her voicemail, which is 5 minutes long.
Okay.
And that's it. After that, we got nothing.
I'm going to pause it right here because this is the second or third time that Wiegert has says we're pretty sure that's a voicemail. If that's true, all of Don Pliska's testimony is a lie.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, I don't remember the limitations. Like I said, I had Singular back then. I didn't really let too much stuff go to voicemail. I don't there was a limitation on how long the message could be.
Yeah.
But I don't remember what it was. But if this was an actual voicemail instead of them having a conversation, everything she said is a lie.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to point that out.
It's really telling. Yeah, no, but you are right. It's really telling.
Yeah.
And plus, why they are thinking then her last stop was Zipperer if a phone ping need Curse Road.
Right. But, and also, going back to this, if they think this is a voicemail, she could Dump Lizka could say whatever the hell she wanted to say, and it just be accepted as the truth. When in fact, there's absolutely no proof of that at all. None.
No, you are right.
And if the voicemail has been deleted, as we know was admitted to by a certain someone, voila.
Yeah. But not by Stephen.
Oh, no, not by Stephen.
It's impossible for Stevens to know her password and her username. And
that's right. That's exactly right. So anyway.
So it must be somebody.
So this call is before boss has the change of plans.
Right before. That call actually is, let me see.
Yeah, I think it's 30 minutes ago.
This call is at 9:03. The change of plans call is actually the next call I have in my lineup, which was at 10:07. So an hour later, the change of plan.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. All right. Let me, I'll back this up 5 seconds and we'll continue on.
And that's it. After that, we got nothing. So about 2:27. Well, actually prior to that, someone heard between 2:12 and 2:27.
Okay.
Seems like he disappeared.
Did Diedering get those phone records for tower location and stuff?
Yes, but I don't have them. They came fax tonight. He grabbed them and he went back up his house to check on that fax machine. And he should be back shortly.
Okay. So you don't know that last phone call, what tower it went off of or anything like that?
I don't know that.
Okay.
All right. I did get a call last night. There's a Knudsen from Valders, actually.
Okay.
She claims, and she left me a voicemail which I haven't gotten to yet. They dispatch just called me last night. She claims that she was on her way home and she sees Teresa allegedly pulled over on the side of the road taking a picture of a cow.
Really? She know Teresa or?
No, just from what she's seen in the news, all this kind of crap. So when I get my ducks in a row here, I'm driving back to Valders talking to her.
Okay.
Are you working today?
Yes.
Okay.
So if you need a hand with anything, let me know.
Well, what I think I'll do, if she's pretty positive, I think I'll do is maybe get a hold of you and then we can just go out to that area.
Sure.
Because we ditches out in that area.
Sure. All right.
Take a look around. So.
Okay.
You got a direct number there, Davey?
Give me my cell.
That'll work.
323-1929. And give me yours again. I always lose it.
418.
418.
4087.
Okay.
I'm sure you're aware of this with the family doing a search on their own.
Yep. I read that note.
I called last night. Maybe I don't know if they'd be trespassing on somebody's property over there and the shotguns would be out the front door. Crazy fuck.
Yeah. The only thing we got is somebody called up and said at 8:45 a.m. they seen a vehicle northbound on I-43 near De Pere. It was either a green or blue RAV4 vehicle. Yeah.
Well, we got one yesterday too on, I don't know what fucking it is. I got to get it on my voicemail. And she was seen on 00 in Appleton driving that vehicle too. So what I'm going to do is kind of put together a sheet with all the tips that come in. So if you get any, if you could let us know.
Yep.
So if yours comes in on I-43 and at 2 o'clock, mine comes in on 00 at 2 o'clock.
Right.
We can pretty much rule them all.
That's good. That's a good idea.
Go that way. So when I get my shit, I know.
I know. I'm going to let you go. You need anything, holler.
All right, I'm
Here till
make it over towards Val. There's
at least 4 o'clock.
You're here to 4?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good, man.
Okay.
Thanks.
See ya.
Bye.
So another interesting call, and this one between Remaker and Wiegert, obviously, and the path to travel went to Schmidt's, went to Avery's, went to Zipper's. That's what they're thinking. And this potential, again, I don't, it's unfair for me to leave a big bowl of innuendo out there in the world. But I'm telling you, he's mentioned that this 227 call is a voicemail. And if that's true, then everything that Don Pliska said and testified to is nothing but lies. And it's false testimony. Just saying.
Right.
It really sticks in my craw now that I think about it.
Wasn't Don the same person who said that Teresa was afraid of Avery?
Yeah, I think it was Don Pliska. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he mentioned that did the ring add the tower location? That means the last ping, and the last ping showed that it was nearby Cuss Road, and they know that, and they think her last stop was on Zipperer. It makes no sense at all. Because if did the ring tell Wiegert and the others that the information he received from the, I don't know you call that, the I struggle to find but the report about a last location by a cell tower, it shows that last ping by this tower was near Cuss Road. So why Wiegert thinks that Zipperer was the last stop of Teresa? It makes no sense.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either.
Too many unknowns, as usual in this case, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Okay. Let me see here. I know I got some stuff that's because of this power outage. It's not functioning correctly on Prism. It's having a heart attack. I apologize for that. It's completely out of my control. I think I've got it settled down, but I guess we'll see. Anyway, we've been at this going on 4 hours. That's enough. We'll pick up the next time. Maybe, I don't know, maybe Wednesday if there's an opening slot. I don't like to broadcast over others that may have something going. So if there's nothing going on Wednesday, we may just jump back into these and get through some more that are really interesting. And they're timely, they're relevant. I don't know. I just found them fascinating, I guess, because there's so many that we have unknowns for, and we're forced to speculate and theorize, and that part is okay, but I don't really like it. I want facts. I want the truth. I want all of it.
Yeah.
We can't make a real decision with that unless you have everything. You can't.
Unfortunately, we don't have a choice but to go piece by piece, phone call by phone call, report by report, to find out what the heck happened, how it happened, when it happened. You know what I mean? Because what the state presented is all bullshit.
Yep. You're exactly right.
Makes no sense.
You're right.
Nothing makes sense. It's illogical.
That's right.
The thing was really horrible is Ken Kratz telling in court, admitting they don't investigate to know if Teresa was still alive on the second, on the third, No, on the 2nd, on day of November. That means in this mine, she was dead on the 31st, like he thinks it happens like this, but he doesn't know.
No, he doesn't. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, and I've said it before. I'm not entirely convinced that she was killed on the 31st. That's speculation.
That's how I feel as well. We just don't know. And remember, Kratz's, was it a tweet or email when he said something, somebody made a comment and he says, that's only if you believe that she was killed on the 31st.
That's right.
Like, what?
That's right. That's exactly right.
And then he jumps up and down regarding the November 2nd, that if they're implying that she's still alive on the 2nd, it's like, oh my God, what actually happened to this poor lady? And why are we just looking for the car?
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
right.
that's where he really looked like he was pretty drug-addled. If you remember the footage from Making a Murderer, he looked like a wild man, deer in the headlights. It was crazy.
Yeah, but in plus, it was before the Brendan Dassey confession, so he don't have the narrative. Then Teresa was burned on the 31st, and all this stuff. So why on hell, in his mind, she's dead on the 31st? Because he admits in court they don't have made any investigation to know if Teresa was still alive on the 1st or on the 2nd.
Right.
Of November.
Well, I mean, we know that by the time February rolled around, they knew that how weak their case was. It was a lot of it was. I mean, other than 6 drops of blood in the RAV, their case was really circumstantial, and he really needed to have Teresa inside that property, and that's where Brendan got used. Brendan was a complete plant and pawn to this very day.
It's a shame with what happened to Brendan.
It's a disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace what they did to that kid.
And a child abuse. I say that, but it was a child abuse.
I could agree with you 1,000%.
Me too.
It was absolutely horrible.
It was.
It was the killer.
Well, I would suspect him long before I would ever suspect Brendan of doing anything to her.
Oh yeah. It looks like more shady than Brendan.
Well, considering how he treated that, SBG, that what's her name? Van, help me out there, Neverly. Sandra.
Stephanie Van Grohl.
Thank you, Stephanie Van Grohl. Considering how he treated her was complete shit.
Yeah.
He used the same words.
He did. Remember?
What she reported. Now, what are the chances that a woman would report about sexting and being taken advantage of by Kratz use the same words? What are the chances of that?
That's right.
To me, none.
That's right. And
there are coincidences, but this is too particular.
We covered that in your and Doc's reading with the crew a couple of weeks ago. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, but because if Kratz is the killer, everything makes sense.
Well,
it would, but I don't think that anybody has any evidence of that.
No. Oh, they have, but we don't know.
No.
Yes.
It's hiding in somewhere.
In a sock drawer? Maybe Leah's got it now. She's holding it over his head. She's got proof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, ladies, gentlemen, I'm going to call this one a good. I'm going to call it an out on where we're at now. Really appreciate everyone sticking around during my power outage and flicker.
This must have been very stressful.
It was. I was like, what the hell's going on? Because I saw it flicker, but I didn't think about the I thought it was just my light flickering, just not a power flicker, but it certainly was. So anyway, I appreciate everyone hanging around, coming back, and we're getting through a few more of these calls. Again, I'll probably schedule something for Wednesday, and we'll do some more. We'll be heavily into the 5th, where they found the car, change of plans, found the car, and on from there. There's a lot of really interesting calls after this, again, that lead us to places that we've kind of had to go because we're missing too much. So thank you, Jerome, for coming. Thank you, Jerome, for coming and all your wonderful commentary. You're certainly welcome back anytime. So
thank you very much, Jack.
Absolutely. Yep. And Neverly, thank you for coming. I know others had things to do and people to see and so forth. So hopefully they'll be able to join us next time.
Yes.
So with that said, I'm going to say this has been a Foul Play production.